What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 31 and the very last part of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded King Louen campaign. So as we saw last time, battles aplenty were had once again, and we've pretty much destroyed clan wars and have almost shored up our borders all the way to the Knights of Kaldor. Not that we really care about these borders, mind you, because we're gonna probably either trade away or end the campaign with these territories here, but yeah, nonetheless it's nice to have, and we've been doing a fairly decent job at keeping all of these factions from fighting each other as well, which I'm pretty happy with. It all worked out. We got a massive amount of territory both here and in Lustria, Ulthuan. The map basically belongs to us other than Cathay, and well, that's a little bit too far away since they have to cross the Darklands to get to us. Now, the goal for this finale will be mainly two things. The first, obviously, the final quest, the Wars of Errantry in the Badlands, battle for Louen, which we will do as the very last battle of the campaign. Two will be the other big battle that I definitely want to have, which is we will send Rapon Stillioness and the Fey Enchantress together to deal with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 6 stacks at the Black Pyramid of Nagash. Lots and lots of very dangerous units here, tons of Oshabti and Necropolis Knights. It'll be a fun time for those two. And then we will try to, if possible, I don't know if we can achieve it, but we'll try to hunt down Archaon and Azazel and whatever other thing and we can get to. Those are the main battles. And maybe even Azag, as we will send Kira Knightley to besiege Karak Kadrin, and we'll see if we can force him into a fight with us. He does have some nice stuff as well. And we might as well... Alright, this is still broken. Speaking of broken, the next campaign obviously hasn't started yet, even though the voting has chosen Grimgor, and that's mainly because everything's broken right now due to the patches, so unfortunately. Oh, maybe I should have gotten the Lost Sun in here. Well, we'll still try to get a fight going with them afterwards. Azag might not even attack us, in which case we're fine. Anyway, just in case, let's level up Merovec, though, because if they attack, we will need his help. He's just a pile of helpful knights of various kinds, even though the outlaws probably won't appreciate the help as much. And I guess... well, since we already have Glorfiniel's progeny, we don't really need anything here other than Pegasus Knights. I guess we could make him a fighter himself. I mean, that's a possibility as well. I don't think we care about the money either way. Yeah, you know, I'll just get Guardians of the Lady. Alright. I mean, we have had these guys around for a while, and they are named after all Skyborn Chargers, Bretonia's Glory, and Riders of Rohan. Anyway, that's good, and I believe we're ready to end the turn and see if anybody attacks us. I saw a commandment was available there, but I don't know where it was, and thus I probably don't care. End turn. Let's see what we're looking at here. Will Azag jump out and attack us? A little jump scare. Gorok, you are... okay, you just want us to declare war against Clan Pestilence. Yeah, we're not gonna bother with that. They'll probably be destroyed without our intervention. I was worried that he'd declare war on Marcus Wolfheart, but honestly, even if he does, it won't matter, because Marcus has one territory and completely surrounded. It looks like Azag will not attack, which will make this a siege battle. But I guess we could do it over the next turn or so, so this is what we'll do. Supervisor, Troop Ferry, okay, there's going to be a bunch of traits gained, but we're just going to go ahead and ignore all those. Clan Wars destroyed, technology researched, and Festus got defeated. Brasskeep got sacked, and you refused to take it. Why would you sack it? Ugh. And then you're going to move away. I really, really need you to occupy this place. Occupy target, Brasskeep. There we go. I'm just gonna directly tell him to do it, because it seems like otherwise Franz will leave those guys alive to keep, well, festering. Merovec, you're just gonna swap into the Crusade stance and stay here. We're not going to attack because I'd like to get the Date Knight in this army here, so we'll wait for Kira Knightley to be able to get at least one of these Lost Sons, and the other one should be heading up north. I don't even remember who you are. Oh, you're supposed to head down here. Go into March stance. and try to head down to Castle Drakenhof. You are supposed to get to Rapunzel, although, you know what, it's a single incarnate elemental of beast. I'm not sure I'm gonna bother with it. It's gonna take too long to get down there. The rest, I think, is more or less fine. I'm just gonna double check a couple of things. Louen. Alright, I see Chiraflesh is here, but his army is relatively weak. Oh, it does have Gorich in there, though. Tamar the Cleaver, I do not see. Where'd the other Skaven army go? Damn, it might have died. Maybe Tsarina Katrin killed it. Her army is damaged. Damn, I wanted to fight Throg. Well, if we can't, we can't. Alrighty, Louen, try to move against Chiraflesh. He's obviously gonna run, but we'll see where. This will take us further away from Azazel, but what can you do? And, oh, let's try not to get that plague. In fact, you know what? If we can... We probably can't go for Tamar the Cleaver, can we? He'll probably move away. And this is not really worth our time in terms of fighting. Alright, just auto-resolve this and try to go for Tamar here. I mean, it does have Gorich, but clan rats against Lewin's army? Not worth our time, and maybe we've gotten sufficiently damaged for Tamar to be willing to fight us rather than run like a little coward. Let's find out. Smite them. Nah, he's still gonna run. Alright, that's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. You know what? Maybe if Archaon's wounded, he'll get replaced by Archaon next turn. Louen, go into, or just go right up to him. He might not even be able to escape anyway. Go into channeling, we'll either chase him down or move, well, chase him down, move northward through Helpit, and then around to Azazel, while we wait for Ponce and Co. to head down to the Great Pyramid, or the Black Pyramid. Alright, first of all, Troop Fairy. I would like you to talk to the Enchantress and finally give her the Hermit Knights and the Zotes, which will complete her army. And 4, and you will get the Knights Errant out of here, and the... I guess we'll lose one of these guys. Yeah, fine. Alright, Brother Maynard, you're going to move into Carpacine's army, like so. And what do we take out of here? Definitely not the field trebs. We could take out some of the peasant bows. Do like a couple of them in here, though. I do 1, and then take out one of the peasant mobs. I guess we'll go 3 and 3 with the battle pilgrims. Like so. Alright, and then the bonuses can go to somebody else. Alrighty, Fey Enchantress, you cannot move right now, but we'll response to get to you, and you two can move together. Yeah, just go into your stances.
We have met before.
And we're gonna have to try to find a battle. The rest of you are actually going to go up north. If we have to deal with Skarsnik, I'm not sure that we will, but if we have to, we'll send the reinforcing armies to deal with them, because the Fey Enchantress and the Rapunce army, Rapunce rather, together can deal with them, I'm sure. Alright, the rest of this is fine. But it was a battle we were looking for. And... okay, Adelard. Alright, this is going to be auto-resolve. I could do that off-screen just to not waste this final... so this can be off-screen together with the rest of the admin. Yeah, it's looking like... alright. It's looking like I'm gonna make a cut here, as there don't appear to be any battles. Alberic, you can just grab this real quick. What do we have here? Explore the island and auto-resolve it. Ooh, Lichbone Pennant. Go on to, I don't know, the first one's the Gendarme. In this case, auto-resolve and execute captives. And you're heading to Cathay. I'd like for one final battle with Alberic as well. Ah, Smuggler, nice. And materials at sea. Oh, game. I appreciate it. It's not necessary at this point, but nonetheless, it is appreciated. Head to the sea lane, please, and then Jolene will follow you. And we'll see if we can't hunt down Loke here as a final battle for Alberic. Alright, you get to the sea lane as well. We are good navigators unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, -1 turn, so should be reasonably quick. Certainly we'll be able to reach Cathay before we reach the Black Pyramid, as that'll take probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish turns, roughly. No guarantee either way. Either way, I'm gonna make a little cut here, and then hopefully we'll come back in the turn and then find ourselves a proper battle. Alrighty, there we go, and not a lot to do other than build buildings and swap settlements. Namely, I've given Crad Tommen to the Court of Libaras, and I've given all of these territories in the Western Badlands to Camry, while Iron Rock, Black Crag, and Karak went to the Karak dwarfs. What that achieved was all of these guys are all now basically at war with pretty much everyone. Was even able to get Thorgrim to declare war on the warhost of the apocalypse. And what that means is that they all now love each other. There should not be any war between Karak and Camry, and not even between the dwarfs and between the elves, as their relationship is arising quite a bit because they're all at war with everybody due to all the settlements that we've given them. Now also Black Iron Mine, Karak Azul, and some pit went to the Knights of Kaldor, who got a military alliance with, and I can see that Imric is going after the Poxmakers, and doing reasonably well at it, mind you, as well as the Disciples of Hashut, though I assume that they're a bigger threat. And if we encounter one of the Chaos Dwarf armies before the end, that wouldn't be too bad. Anyway, we're gonna end the turn, we're gonna see if we get attacked, and if we don't, we'll attack Azag at Karak Kadrin ourselves. And well, Serena Katrin is going to attack Tamar the Cleaver. By the looks of it, there's not much in this, it's just a pile of Chaos Warhounds. However, I wouldn't mind watching the Kislefite forces fight, even if we probably don't need to participate. So, I'm gonna do that manually real quick. And I guess we could set Louen to help out just a teensy bit. If he manages to get onto the field by then. I was hoping that they'd be replaced by Archaon, but I'm sure that we'll find Archaon somewhere before long. At least I really hope. Hopefully he's not just sitting around up north in the plains of Zanbaijin or something like that, in which case we wouldn't be able to do much. Start deployment, start battle, can't do anything ourselves. Oh, we can use our Line of Bretonnia buff, though, if we wanted to. And oh, what is this? Our ally's actually going to wait for us. Fascinating. I wasn't expecting that. Alright, well, we'll see. We'll see if they wait completely. I'd still like to mostly watch them do their thing. And the Kislevites have a mortar firing, and oh, would you look at that. Alright, well, okay, we're not gonna... Yeah, everybody get back. We don't need to use all our troops here. I would like to see, first of all, Louen, by yourself, go kill the enemy lord. And if we send our summoned units forward, let's see if the enemy will fight them, and whether our Kislevite allies will. Once again, I want this to be the Kislevites' show, not ours. As we'll never see their like again. Anyway, attack. Hey, don't you run from Louen. I like Bretonian attack, because you're by yourself more or less. Well, there's the summon guys. And up you go, and come on back, Louen. Are you confused, bud? He seems to have gotten confused as to how to attack the enemy lord. There we go. Let the two fight it out amongst themselves. How's our allies? And ow! Are you doggos actually going to try to attack knights? Are you insane? Okay, well, good luck to you. In fact, I'm gonna slow this down, and I'd like to see the charge of the knights, cause, well, let's say it's rare to be able to watch them do this sort of thing against a pile of warhounds. Although the Warhound... Oh, I guess the Warhound models, despite their, I would assume, relatively small mass, can't actually be knocked back by anything. At 250 mass, in theory, they should have gone flying. But I guess their particular model types don't allow for it. And spells, I wonder if those actually damaged us, because they very well could have. And oh wow, the mortars got destroyed. Hey, what are you doing? Also, I don't remember landing you guys, but apparently I did. Not that that matters. You guys can work on these nurglings and this weird spawn here. Alright, how are our Kislevite friends doing? We got some Watchmen in the Night armored Khazars moving in with their ice swords. Their specialized swords. How's Louen, by the way? Nah, he's fine. And has he killed off the enemy lord yet? I don't know. He could be rampaging. Alright, Louen, buff yourself, debuff the enemy. And you know what, let's pop that Lion of Bretonnia slash Ladies power and buff that we have and keep watching. Ooh, Incarnate Elemental of Beasts. You gotta attack Incarnate Elemental. And funnily enough, the weird spawn in particular does match the Kislefite color scheme, and here comes another Incarnate. There we are, Elemental, not just Incarnate. If we had an actual Incarnate on the field, I suppose nothing would stand any kind of chance. Yeah, and at least we'll get to see these guys in action a little bit, which is great considering I wanted one in probably Rapunzel's army. But as that army might not be able to get there in time, we might not be able to see it. But they fight here together with us anyway. Ripping those Nurglings apart, although that's hardly a fair contest. How's everybody else looking? We are all fine by the looks of it. Lewin's still in the middle of this blob of enemies and such, but obviously they have not damaged him, really at all. And hey, a Flock of Doom seems like an appropriate spell to cast with those Incarnate Elemental of Beasts up and running, and it looks like the enemy army is in trouble. That War Sled charges in. Interesting that the AI is using the light War Sleds to charge into the back of these units. Kind of a waste, to be perfectly frank, as they're not going to achieve too much like this. But at the same time, the enemy army is already being banished, so it'll hardly matter. Alright, well done, Beastie Boys, and we are good. Let's speed it up while... Oh, I probably should have sent the knights in to at least chase the enemy down. Alright, speed it up to max. And we'll get back to... Oh, Tamar did escape. Well, you know what? Our ally will probably chase him down anyway. And it's Azag I'm more interested in that anyway, so... Probably could have used the Line of Bretonnia again. Well, not that it mattered. I don't think we really got hurt anyway. And our allies... Actually, it's kind of hard to tell whether they got hurt or not, because we don't know how much damage their army had already suffered before we started the battle. Anyway, good enough. Decisive victory for the Kislefites, and we helped them out. And Lewin still managed to get 90 kills and nearly 40k damage. Damn. Yeah, you gotta love that bleed that we have on the Hippogriff, as when he gets surrounded, he's just applying bleed to them and just racking up damage, even if he's not killing individual lords. Plus, obviously, the general splash damage from the Hippogriff as well. Alright, we don't really need the money anymore. Execute the captives. And let's see if we get attacked anywhere. But regardless of whether we do or we don't, we will have a cinematic battle. Crocky, you want a defensive alliance? I guess. The only thing that makes me somewhat concerned about this is that a defensive alliance with you might allow us to see Kairos. I'm just gonna hope that it doesn't. And wait, how much do you want this, incidentally? 1.3. You're not gonna join any wars, will ya? 33k. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Fine. Defensive alliance. And we'll hope that that doesn't show Kairos. I mean, clearly his settlements aren't there, but he could have like a hero move down there, and then bam, we see Big Bird flying around. I also understand that Big Bird kind of got screwed by the patch by a couple of reasons. And hello, Skarsnik is going to attack our pods of peasants, and we got the dwarves fighting with us as well. You know what? I like it. I like it very much. We're definitely going to fight those. Skarsnik might be a little bit of an issue to bring down. And the same with the pump wagons. They should wreak absolute havoc with our tier 1 units, but I like the combined arms things we're doing. We've fought with Kislev, now we fight with the dwarves. Makes sense for this final episode wherein we've shown that we have established good relations with pretty much everybody around us, and it makes sense to fight together. Here we go. Alright, well, it looks like our dwarven allies are not going to make a speech for us to hear, but oh well, not a big deal. At least they're on this side of the map, so we may be able to fight together with them. Assuming they don't get destroyed by the massive pile of pump wagons, which I guess is a pretty big if, because they very well might. Man, I can't believe we're on turn, or around turn 100, and we've got pump wagons facing off against dwarf warriors and piles upon piles of peasants. Well, war never changes, I guess. Total war never changes. Anyway, let's speed it up a little bit as we allow the enemy to move in, and there we go. They've engaged with the first of the dwarf warriors with the pump wagons, and it looks like the first of the units has already lost nearly half of the HP that it started with. Perhaps not just by virtue of the pump wagons, though, and it has been getting hit by the Doom Divers. Very nice, very nice. It looks like the pump wagons are getting some air. Alright, we have a contender. And damn, that dwarf flew pretty damn far as well. Alrighty, well, and now we have a good reason, or a better reason, to destroy these green skins for trying to compete with our charge air capabilities. Anyway, looks like we're on the field now as the piles of men-at-arms move in. Let's see how long they manage to hold against all of those pump wagons. Oh, and it looks like the pump wagons are going to buy power. They're going to ignore us in favor of going after the grudge thrower. Probably a good idea on their part. And there we go. Now they're engaged. How much mass do these things have, actually? And just out of curiosity. Something pump wagon has 1,000 mass. Alright. So not too bad. A little bit less than a regular knight unit, so they should in theory be trappable, but by virtue of their ability to get through these piles of units, plus that charging mid-combat animation they have, it looks like they can get quite a bit more mileage out of that mass than a single knight unit can. Not a Grail Knight, mind you, but a regular Knight Errant or a Questing Knight or something along those lines. Anyway, the fight against the piles of the enemy Snotling pump wagons continues, though the battle is now turned in our favor just by virtue of all the units we have on the field. Plus, pump wagons are extremely vulnerable to range fire, and we should be able to melt them away quite quickly, as long as they are exposed and not hidden by virtue of being among our men-at-arms with maces, which would obviously prevent our arrows from hitting them. Once again, I'm always wishing for a toggle that allows you to do more friendly fire if you're willing to suffer more casualties on your own units. Which should obviously be the default for Skaven and the like, and frankly for Bretonnian peasants as well. Anyway, we're starting to do a lot better now. Looks like we managed to move a few of the enemy pump wagons off the field, but at the same time 3 of our units of men-at-arms are routing, though on this side it looks like the pump wagons have melted away. And we are actually getting some decent use out of our Lord Brienne here, as she's managed to distract a few of those pump wagons and allowed our range units to rip them apart. Though we are starting to run out of men-at-arms. The problem will be, obviously, if we do run out of said men-at-arms, what will our archers do then? Though it looks like we should be able to pull it off. Over on this side rather, we did have our Defenders of the Realm. They spawned somewhere over here for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. When we act as a reinforcements, they spawn in some odd position, maybe where the original Dwarf Lord was deployed at the start of the battle. I'm not sure. But anyway, by virtue of them spawning here, it actually did work out reasonably well for us, as we were able to use one of the units of Defenders of the Realm to stop the enemy Rock Lobbers. Oh, I thought they were Doom Divers, but Rock Lobbers from firing. Here we'll have peasant mobs facing off against some Night Gabos. But it looks like the Night Gabos are routing, and fewer of those pump wagons remain. Still 3 out there, ripping some peasant mobs apart, but, well, that's just fine by my estimation. Alright, looks like the enemy Black Orc Big Boss here is trying to go after our Grail Relic, but we should be able to hold still. And it looks like the Black Orc Big Boss is wavering, so he won't be on the field for too much longer. The bounce power continues to creep in our favor. Skarsnik continues to fight and has lost about 25% of his HP, but is surrounded by some of the dwarfen units as well as a peasant mob distracting him. Skarsnik's not really the problem here. While he's reasonably strong in his fighting capabilities, he'll also still run if the rest of his army should rout, and by the looks of it, rout it shall. He's dropped to half HP. The bounce power is about 90% in our favor. The last of the pump wagons are shattering, and with that, the battle is ours, and the peasants are victorious once again, though they did have a decent amount of dowie to take the charge for them. A lovely little fight. Away the pump wagons go. We obviously won't be able to catch them all, but that'll hardly matter, and we can chase the rest off screen. Alrighty, very nice, very nice. So the peasants once again triumph and get another chance to take out their rage on the enemy there, in particular Skarsnik in this case. Not sure what the peasants are so angry about, considering the nobles have so nicely let them bask in their presence occasionally, but oh well. Anyway, ransom those captives, I guess. Still sounds a little bit odd to be ransoming those orcs, and it looks like the army will survive, so we'll have to continue destroying it as that continues to not attack, but that works for us as we will be able to get the date night into Keira Knightley's army. Devoted, Savior, and Sneaky Smiter. Not particularly useful to us, but hardly matters for those peasant armies anyway. A new regional power. Following a string of impressive victories, Khemri has become a major power. It is imperative for us to make plans to deal with them, either with overwhelming military force or cunning diplomacy. Well, we already have. In fact, the only reason that they're a major regional power is because we gave them like 20 settlements, so yeah. Ready for duty, Tech Thief. Well, that's great for Tech Thief, but not super relevant for us. Journey complete, Alberic. And a refugee influx somewhere that we don't care about, because we don't need to recruit anymore. Now, the thing about this is, where would Leoncoeur be? I would assume that if he's somewhere, he's probably going to be close to the front line, so try to move here, close towards Shiwu. What do we have here? We got two armies. Oh, well.
Cruel and deadly.
Now, the question is, what do we do here? Do we declare war directly on the Blessed Dread? No, I think we just... No, yeah, you know what we do, because we probably want them to stick around so that we can attack them. Alright, you two. Move together, I guess, Jolene, you can move into March stance. I actually don't know why I've even bothered to bring Jolene, but it's okay. Like so, then we'll ask you to join war against the Blessed Dread. And, when Clannishin's still undiscovered. Not for long, mind you. And then we will... I'm not going to ask for anything. Frankly, I think this faction's dead, but... I'm sure I want to piss off any other factions by doing this. Let's do that. Not that it'll matter either way. And, Talakwa doesn't like something. Oh, they probably don't like gifts given to Khemri. Yeah, but that's fine. They're actually more or less okay with Khemri now. Alright, so that battle is not going to happen. I see Kugath is here, might be getting ready for an attack on the Knights of Kalador, who have also failed to take Crookback Mountain. For whatever reason, they sacked it, and are moving away. Kind of bizarre. Yeah, see, this makes no sense, because it's a capital settlement of two territories that these guys already own. It's within their empire. It makes no sense for the AI to have sacked it. But oh well. What we want to do... is this. I want to try out one of these guys. So, Mr. Date Night. We have replenished troops, and now I'm forgetting. Keira Knightley. Do we have replenished troops on the damsels? Yes, we do, and it's at 1 point. Okay. Now, in terms of spells, which is probably what we sort of want to be using you for, we'll probably want Harmonic Convergence, because it's nice and spammable. And, well, I guess Light of Battle to get the additional magical resistance or spell resistance. Exorcism, obviously, Earthblood and Faw's Protection are the important ones, and we'll get Pure Heart out of Sons of Bretonnia, which will give us miscast base chance reduction by 25% and damage resistance and vigor. Nice. We won't be able to get to Years of Rage because you won't be able to level up enough to this, but it's still not that bad. We could get Winds of Time and Magic Stability. Can't get Evasion, but that's not a big deal. I forget, you, Keira Knightley, have a Damsel of Life, who will actually be using Earthblood instead, so we'll get Foz Protection maxed out. And the reason she will be using Earthblood is because she has Life Bloom. Whereas, obviously, you have no passives. Okay, let's get you Sacred Water, and we should probably get you Hard to Hit, because, 30 melee defense. It just ain't enough. Hard to Hit it is. Alright, and then I'm gonna have you join this army in place of... And do we take out one of the outlaws? Lose an outlaw of the outlaw army. We can't lose the... Shrubs, I think. I mean, I guess we could lose another one of the Foot Squires. Feels kind of mean. Also, we should also level you up in the second one. Oh, I already did. Oh, good job, past Ruinous. Sometimes, on rare occasions, you impress me. I guess we'll lose one of the outlaws. No, you know what? Screw it. We'll lose one of the Foot Knights. Foot Squires, rather. They wish they were Foot Knights, but that'll never be. Take Knight into the army, please. Not gonna be a big on melee army, but who cares? And then we'll put Merovec into... the Crusade, or do we just go for ring camp melee defense? You know what, I think the melee defense is actually probably going to be better in this particular case, because these guys are going to have a difficult time. And then the settlement, away we go, Azag. This is probably the last time we fight you. Let's take your city.
It shall be.
Alrighty, here we go. I can't say I have a particular fondness for using piles of archers and sieges, as it can make battles a little bit boring, as they take too long to just whittle everything down slowly within the enemy settlement, but that's okay. Besides, it's probably going to be the, well, one of, if not the last siege that we have to contend with or deal with in this particular campaign. And besides, we do have two armies here, so we can use the knights to move in instead of waiting for the outlaws to destroy everything. Anyway, we're going to start off by having the Blessed Trebuchets destroy the towers, and destroy them they have. And of course, this is our outlaw army, so they are not bound by the code of chivalry, and will be free to use their guns and their rocket artillery on the enemy Black Orcs and Biggins. Fortunately for us, it looks like the latter are moving away from the enemy walls, which means the rocket batteries should be able to fire on them much easier than if they were in fact on the walls. So, too bad, so sad. We also do have a ram as well as a pair of towers, which are currently moving towards the enemy walls, wherein our relatively limited number of foot squires, in combination with probably our defenders of the realm, and we'll do a little fighting up on those walls, which should be entertaining to watch as well. So it won't be all outlaws firing over the walls, is what I'm getting at, and the main thing that I wanted to avoid. Alrighty. Though once again, I do really like the medievally sort of feeling you get when you siege things as Bretonians. Get a little bit less so perhaps with the rocket batteries firing, but nonetheless. Alright, it looks like this unit is, well, they got a little bit damaged. Plenty of orcs lie fallen due to those archers or those outlaws. We also do have our, which one are you? You are the Date Knight, the Lost Sons of Bretonnia, which are essentially very similar model to a questing knight. Except for the glowing water horse thing that they've got. Alright, and obviously the spells that they have as well. So, we'll see how they perform within the rest of this battle here. Looks like two of the enemy goblin archers have been destroyed by our rocket batteries. And we are about to disgorge foot squires upon the enemy walls. Alright, and so will the melee aspect of this battle begin. We will of course still have to wait for our Knights of the Realm and other knights to arrive upon the field from our reinforcements. But we got plenty to do up on these walls now. Also got to be careful not to destroy our own units with our rocket batteries, but of course our blessed trebs can fire upon the walls should they desire once they're done with the enemy towers and breaching the wall here for our knights to go through in 2 minutes once they arrive on the field. Alright, looks like the foot squires are going to get hit with an upgraded spirit leech, some bony boys. I'm going to move up here to defend together with the, is that a... What are you? Black Orc Big Boss, okay. Well, this guy's going to be a toughie up here. We do have armor piercing on the foot squires, of course, but we probably want a lord or something to help out with this. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the guy has all that crazy amount of HP. Alright, how's he doing? Oh, down to about 2,000. We're getting there, and actually, if his biggins are going to move off of the wall like this, that'll be better for us as we can continue concentrating on bringing their lord down. Unfortunately, the enemy is getting a decent amount of fire out from its goblin rock lobbers, so we are liable to take quite a bit of damage on foot squires up here. Now it looks like Mr. Sneak Bogroff will have to sneak right off if he can, as he's going to be falling shortly. How are we looking elsewhere? Looks like the unit of Black Orcs that the enemy has been nearly destroyed by our rocket batteries. And it looks like the enemy Black Orc Big Boss is out of there. Ooh, here we go. Louen Bretonnia is going to face off against some of those bony boys as well. The two-handed greatsword swinging wide. And the two damsels are here mostly to protect the Portalords, the Grail relic, as it was standing right below the wall where it was supporting our units of foot squires with its buffs, and then the bony boys got summoned on top of it, which wasn't too bad of a move from the AI, though fortunately these things are weak enough that our single lost son and the two prophetesses should be able to take care of them. Alright, how are we doing up here? Still plenty of units, and it looks like we've taken the defensive position on the wall. Man, it would be great to get some outlaws up here as well to fire down on the enemy, and we're certainly going to try that. If these foot squires survive. They have dropped to about half HP, but they're over 100 kills now, so if nothing else, and they're doing quite well. It may be the outlaw army, but this is, I think, a pretty glorious form of melee combat. Even if it is without cavalry. Well, without cavalry so far, I should say, as the Knights of the Realm arrive on the field, and the Pegasus Knights should be following shortly as well to start knocking down enemy towers, and that darn Goblin Rock Lobber, which has dealt about 6,000 damage, which ain't too bad, but, you know, incomparable to our Hellstorm rockets. 41k damage, 300 kills, and 40k damage, and 300 kills as well. Black Orcs are nearly out. We did manage to breach the gate with our ram and send our Defenders of the Realm through, but unfortunately the Defenders of the Realm did get surrounded and destroyed. The enemy doesn't look like it wants to allow us into the settlement, so it will send the Bony Boys out to block the wall. We're going to move thus our units of war wagons away because they're obviously quite fragile, and allow the outlaws to rip the Bony Boys apart, together with a little help from the trebuchets, apparently. Oh, I haven't seen the outlaws fight in melee a lot. Let's see how well they do here. Alright, looks like a few will drop, and the Bony Boys still in strong binding. Yeah, oh, good for them. I mean, obviously the outlaws don't want to be fighting in melee at 37 and 29 attack and defense. Alright, but it looks like with them trying to move back through the gate in the way that they are, the trebuchets are cleaning up, and plus we're getting a little bit of help from those war wagons. Not great at units that have multiple units, or multiple entities rather, but still a little bit helpful. How are we doing up here now? Still trying to hold off the green tide as we hold on to the wall. The Shield of Thorns comes up to help them out a little bit. I'm going to get that Earthblood up and running to help out as well. Lord Merovec Le Cornet has arrived, or Le Cornet, whatever, has arrived as well to try to help the foot squires out, even if it galls him to come to the aid of the peasants. And it looks like we've managed to hold off the enemies that have tried to reclaim this wall. Very nice job, foot squires. Look at all those piles of biggins below them. Well done. Though it looks like the fight will as yet continue. Alright, on the bright side though, the Knights of the Realm are moving into the field or into the fray. The Pegasus Knights have taken out the enemy towers, and another unit of, or another Lost Sun leads the Questing Knights forward against the Boar Boys. More are charging in from the center of the enemy settlement, and a Giant will join the fray as well, which is going to start knocking out Questing Knights with every swing of that massive club. Alright, kind of difficult to... oh, there he is, actually. I was about to say kind of difficult to spot the Lost Sun in that pile of units, but it really isn't. That glowing horse is really quite helpful in that regard. I do like the Foz protection on these guys. It's certainly a useful spell. Is it better to have the Lost Suns as compared to a Damsel of Life and a Paladin? I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, you get an extra unit of doing that. But I wouldn't say that a Lost Sun quite replaces a Damsel most of the time. And ooh, a second Giant moving in, and I gotta say good job to the AI for this, because it's gonna make it a lot easier to deal with those Questing Knights if there are two Giants protecting each other and working together. They're going to be knocking plenty of our Knights out this way, and the enemy is still preventing us from moving into the settlement itself, both here and within the breach, where a unit of Stone Trolls together with some more Biggins and Orc Boys together are holding our units off. And the Wyvern here is out. That's not a Wyvern, that's Azag. Ha. Azag is in here himself, but it looks like the Date Knight has damaged him together with Lord Merovec, and it looks like Azag will not be able to continue fighting much longer. Very nice. I didn't even realize he had joined the fray. Alright, and looks like the Date Knight is chasing him down, Azag down to a tiny bit of HP, and the Lost Sun and gets a kill. Very nice. Wasn't expecting to get a Lord kill like that, but I am happy about it. The first of our outlaws are making their way into the settlement as well, together with more knights using the second of the breaches, and the war wagons following them as well. And they're moving in to help the Pegasus Knights, which have hit the enemy Boar Boys and the enemy archers and artillery in the back, but do need help and to be bailed out lest they get surrounded and destroyed. Fortunately, the Knights of the Realm have arrived, and while the regular Pegasus Knights are too fragile to brawl for long, it looks like they won't have to. Alright, gotta love being able to fight the Bony Boys as well. Though it still makes me slightly upset that we don't have various types of undead in the game. Alrighty, well these guys are not going to be on the field for too much longer. The bounce power continues to creep forward in our favor at about 85%. The Stone Trolls continue holding the breach out here, and we've actually had to move our Questing Knights away from those two Giants as they've done far too much damage. Nearly 10k on you, and about 5k on you. Still, the Questing Knights did manage to clear plenty of the enemies out. Our second Lost Sun had to back off and in fact routed, as he did take a bunch of damage, but that's okay as we have another one. And plenty of Knights to join the fray as soon as these damn Trolls are done for. We're moving more Outlaws up on the walls as well, and they'll be able to provide support from on top of the walls and hopefully bring these Giants down as well, or at the very least, the one that has a tiny bit of HP. Should be able to pincushion it reasonably quickly, if we can get a firing angle that allows us to actually fire on him. Well, it looks like one or two of the units are trying. Not seeing a lot of arrows hitting him, but it looks like the Giant doesn't really know what to do, which is a little bit odd. I mean, I guess it should move in to help the Trolls here, but we would probably get surrounded and destroyed. And there we go, we found the angle, and a couple more units of Outlaws are now able to fire on the very badly hurt Giant, which should be wavering and either dying or routing shortly. Alright, away it goes, broken, exhausted, 500 HP remaining, a couple more volleys, and the Giant should fall. Ooh, and the other giant will block him, but it looks like it will not be enough. Or maybe it will be enough. He'll survive with 26 HP, or will he? Down goes the giant. Oh, is he gonna crush one of the knights here? No, it doesn't look like it. Nice hit from the trebuchet on that giant as well, but that will take the battle for us. Fantastic. Close victory. We certainly took a little bit of damage, but on the bright side, we were able to use basically all the units that we had, and I'm pretty happy with the battle in general, plus for the Lost Son to have gotten a kill on Azag himself. Alrighty, very nice. So falls Azag, and probably never to be seen again in this particular campaign. That said, we got a decent amount of mileage out of a lot of our units, a little bit less so perhaps on the outlaws as we compared to what we normally would have, but I didn't want to waste like an extra 20 minutes of the battle destroying half the enemy forces with just archery, as frankly it would have taken too long, and why not watch glorious melee combat instead? We've already seen the outlaws rip enemies apart. We can, I guess we can occupy it, at least we can heal up here. And spell resistance 25% on Kieran Knightley, and an armor of fortune for Jolene. Though I think, being a follower, she is not going to need that. Though frankly, I think not really anybody's going to need that right now. Anyway, Malene, you are going to castle Drakenhof, just because I want to do it right now, and there will be buildings to build there, but I'll do it between the, between edits, or during edits. We're at 4.3k here. Coast of Araby is still winning out at 5.6, and that's, mind you, 5.6 without either the peasants' duty or levy tithes up and running, which would put it to another plus 25%. Pretty darn good. Anyway, Louen, we were looking for battles for you, my friend. I see no Archaon. Azazel's still hanging around there, so he's got potential. We could retake Throg right now if we wanted to. Or do we head towards Azazel? I think the main issue here is there's no guarantee that he won't just run. If we take Throg, wait, do we have to, there's like no defenders of Prague. You know what, just take it. We'll just transfer it immediately to Serena Katrin afterwards. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll find Throg, and we wanted to hit the hell pit anyway. Yeah, obviously how to resolve this. And occupy. Alright, Servant, the Cursed City. Prague. Truly you are a cursed city, and we can't build anything special here either, so... Well, not that I was going to keep it, but nonetheless. Anyway, we'll see about Azazel, who... Does he only have the one territory? Yeah. So we could destroy him as well as Clan Molder if we wanted to, though I imagine Ostrosk and Strogov both have Skaven in them. And there's no way to know whether they're all Plagueinated. And Carl, would you please deal with Festus, man? Oh, AI. Why are you like this? Anyway, let's see if there's anybody else who can join a fight right now. I forget, was Alberic this turn or last turn? I guess confusing with the edits. That was this turn. I think that means we're ready to do another cut, as I don't see anybody that can fight right now. And I can once again do the admin off screen and then head towards more actual proper battles. Oh, I also need to destroy this little army. I think we could do that with a quick little auto-resolve. Actually, we probably wouldn't be able to. Alright, I might do this off-screen as well, just as a rapid fight that otherwise isn't worth our time. Anyway, here comes the cut. Alright, there we go, moves once again made, and looky if it isn't Archaon himself, and he's only level 16, poor guy will be no challenge to us. That said, if we can catch him, I'm certainly willing to send perhaps Louen to one-on-one him, and then I guess the rest of the paladins to deal with his army. He's probably gonna run to Plesk here, although I have to wonder whether he'd actually try to back off. We'll see. We'll try to chase him down. Louen has some stuff he can do while we wait for response and for the Fey Enchantress to head down to that Black Pyramid for their epic final battle. Anyway, that looks like another end turn, so let's end it and let's see if we've got anything interesting happening, namely an attack anywhere. Alright, Disciples of Hoshut still alive, allies immobilizing. Naggareth probably wants a military alliance, and go for it, why not? I guess the only issue is if Mother Ostankya and the Wood Elves, the Sisters of Twilight up there, get into combat with each other. In which case Naggareth would probably join the Wood Elves, and then we'd probably join Mother Ostankya with the rest of Ulthuan. Alright. I would imagine so anyway. Estalian, huh? Oh, okay, that was just a follower. Ally mobilized towards settlement. Ally begins outpost construction, technology research, and we're up to 48k per turn now. Ain't too bad at all. Now, I see Halscurry the Warpsmith, who is not Throg. We cannot reach Archaon, just barely. A shame, but alright. We'll auto-resolve Volksgrad and then we'll hit Archaon. Oh! Hello, wait, auto-resolve this, which will damage us, which may be a good thing. Occupy Volksgrad, and get some free stuff. But more importantly, together with Jorhul Blood Reaper, Archaon might be not too scared to actually attack Louen, which would be just fantastic. We should also trade Prague back to Kislev. Enjoy, and oh. Alright, fine. Join the war against, I don't know, all these guys. Oh, that was it? Okay, how about Nagaron, then? Army of the Poxmakers? Honestly, it probably doesn't really matter. Here, have Prague. Alright. The cursed city returns to you, and you can have the curse, or deal with said curses yourself. Looks like we won't be able to attack with Louen this time around. Wulfric is back up over here, but I think Adelard will need to heal before he can join the war again. Siggy is moving around as well, and he's taken the territories of the Norskins that we destroyed, but frankly, he's probably wasting them anyway. I'd rather him occupy them, because he's not gonna do anything with them. What is possible, since these guys are all not going to fight right now, is Alberic. Aha! You two. I believe they're willing to fight, which is lovely. Alberic, let's level you up to get Mentor, and then see what else we can get you, and then attack. It's probably not going to be his final battle, but it may be. Who knows, we might not be able to find Leoncoeur, and in that case we'll just destroy some of his armies. Because if we wanted to, we could obviously destroy everybody here, but there's no need so late into the game, as we've effectively won already. You have guided by the Lady and Protectors of the Realm, so you have everything you need here, which I guess means you get Blade Master, and assuming we don't need anything up here, which, well, you know what, let's get Lady's Mantle. I'm a little bit concerned with you getting ripped apart by missile fire, and in fact I'm so concerned about it that rather than what I was originally gonna do, physical resistance, servant, I was going to give the Banner of Defense with that 20% missile resistance to Louen, but I think I'll put it on you instead. Lewin's unlikely to be killed anyway, or at least a lot less likely than you, Albie. Mentor for you, and we have Blinding Majesty. Let's get Blessing of the Lady maxed out, and Lady's Mantle for you as well. Yeah, I'm very wary of all those armor-piercing crossbow bolts that the Dark Elves bring to bear. You do not have Blinding Majesty, so I guess we'll get you self-centered into Blinding Majesty ASAP. And then lastly, the Damsel. You have most of the magics complete. I guess we could get Flesh to Stone Awakening of the Wood. We don't have Peasants, so we don't really care about Recovery, or Enchanting Beauty, or a Soft Small for small folk, so Dwellers Below, and let's get Awakening of the Wood as well. It is a usable spell, very much so. Much more so, I think, than Flesh to Stone, as it's a little bit too expensive for what it does on but one unit. In my opinion, anyway. Alright, let's get your Power Sap as well. We should probably move through Onslaught to buff the army a little bit further. That's about it. Jolene, move into support position. Elite XP, Alberic. Go on ahead. Do we want this army or this army? Does it matter?
Ridiculous.
I think we want...
The goddess forbids it.
No.
Huh. Oh, actually, we don't have a choice, do we? No, we don't have a choice because Jolene's... Well, actually, no, we can move her around. I say we probably want to destroy this army first with our rushing units, so let's do this. And they're not going to run close to victory as well. Fantastic. All right, you, LB, you're going to get that banner of defense, and then I guess we'll put the Twilight banner on... I mean, I guess one of the paladins. It wouldn't be very useful on the damsel because unicorns give you stock anyway, so it would be wasted. All right, that looks good to me. I guess Strider is wasted on the paladin, though. Either way, something is wasted. Anyway, battle number 3 or 4, I've already lost count, and we've got plenty more to go. Alrighty, round 1 against the Dark Elves. Well, actually, not really against the Dark Elves. At the very least, Loencoeur's Dark Elves. Let's say that, as I guess Ricard's Dark Elves have already felt the wrath of the sea. Alrighty, but Alberic's Trident will be working on this Dreadlord first as his Knights of the Realm charge the enemies below, though we do have to keep in mind that the more elite enemy army is coming in behind our force, which may be pretty interesting. We have left 4 of our Knights of the Realm behind to both protect our various trebuchets from the enemy and to hopefully hold off this entire army while we destroy this pile of enemy artillery and the enemy Black Ark Corsairs. As to whether we can do that in time, well, I guess that remains to be seen. Fortunately, the Black Ark Corsairs, most with handbows by the looks of it, have all been engaged by the Knights of the Realm and are at the very least not going to get as much, or the AI is not going to get as much value out of him. Looks like Alberic has defeated the enemy lord and will knock him out of the sky as well. For a second I thought he had ripped him in half, but it was just him falling off his mount. Also, good job to the AI for building Black Ark Corsairs with handbows rather than with dual swords, as they're the more effective unit. Ooh, we're gonna get a little bit of air on some of those Black Ark Corsairs, and at the same time, the reinforcements will arrive. Even as they do, the Black Ark support comes in, and 3 hits all come down on our various trebuchets. It looks like Zelady's Skipping Stones hit particularly hard there and lose one of the models of trebuchets. And now we'll see whether the Defenders of the Realm and the Knights of the Realm here together can hold off the more elite army. More Doom Bolts come down as the enemy moves in with their Doomfire Warlocks. Harpies and Rats come down as well to help their Dark Elven Masters in this particular case. Alrighty, but it looks like the Doomfire Warlocks don't really want to be in a straight-up fight, which does make sense as they're a particularly fragile unit. We get the Shield of Thorns going on our Defenders of the Realm and our Knights of the Realm, and we'll see if they can hold. And back here, the main battle continues to proceed. Alberic is going after one of the enemy Bloodrack Medusae, and it looks like the first of the Medusae has been defeated in the same way that her Dreadlord has. Most of the enemy Black Ark Corsairs, by the looks of it, are routing now as well, and the first of the Medusae goes down. Just a little bit more of those Black Ark Corsairs need to be destroyed, and we'll be able to reinforce the armies that are, or the units that are holding back that second army. Just need to kill them a little bit quicker. Come on now. Alright, though fortunately, as every single unit that runs off of the field, or at the very least ceases to fight, is another unit of ours that can join the fray. And back here. And the bounce power is about 80% in our favor now. Who knows, we may not even need the additional units that are in the main fight, as it looks like we are definitely doing fairly well here. The Defenders of the Realm have not... Oh, damn, that guy went flying. And the Black Ark support continues to hammer away at our poor artillery pieces. Trade catapults and... should have been a trench, but whatever. I'll lose one of their models as well. But it looks like it won't be enough, as the units of Helldrakes and whatever else was fighting with them are just done. Alright. Alright, it looks like we were able to separate our units quite well there, and it turned out to be a very nice fight. I'm still hoping that we can fight a Loke here, but I don't think that was too bad at all. I think this battle would have been a lot easier if we didn't have to contend with the enemy army separating itself or moving off from the field. In the way that it did, as it only allowed us to use maybe 3/4 of our army to destroy the main enemy force, but it still did work out and our damage wasn't, or our losses weren't too bad. Anyway, we're gonna do our best to chase off screen as usual. Alright, very nice, and all those high veterancy Blackguard Corsairs too. Looks like the enemy had roughly equivalent veterancy to our army, because, well, I guess they were wrecking face in Cathay this entire time. Anyway, pretty darn decent fight, didn't get as much value out of the various blessed field trebs, but that's hardly surprising in this particular case, and especially on that map, which doesn't really favor artillery pieces. We took a little bit of damage, but we're more or less okay. Let us... Well, we don't need to ransom. Let's execute those captives, and I guess we need to chase them down a little bit.
For now, yes.
Assuming that we can actually move/reach them. And, oh, damn, they didn't take Dai Cheng. I was hoping that they would land there and we'd be able to heal up, but that's apparently not going to be the case. Okay, we'll have to move to Shiwu. You're gonna go here, you're going to destroy in this little army. And, we're probably gonna take more damage doing this than we did in the battle, but what can you do? And execute the captives once again, and then we'll just do that one more time if we can reach this guy, which we can. Fantastic. Well done, Alberic. And honestly, I think that was if we don't manage to get another fight for Alberic, I think that was a pretty good one. And especially as we had to think and we had to react to the second enemy force, which made it a little bit different than usual. Anyway, and oh, Deathmaster Snitch right here. And, I do have to wonder whether he'll attack, as he's got 2 armies here. I'd really love to land. The problem with this is we won't be able to heal here. We could trespass at the Tower of Ashung, or we could trespass at Dai Cheng. I think either way we'd trespass. You know what? Just land, Alberic. Either way. Oh, we do heal here, but we don't heal at sea. You'd think Alberic would heal at sea. And, oh, we can also, I guess, increase that by getting the sea cabin. We don't really need it, but armies replenish in foreign territory works. And then you... can you actually land? Oh, you're stuck at sea. Oh, she's dead. They can't do anything about this, can we? I mean, maybe if we move you a little bit more, you might be able to land, but I don't think so. Oh, yeah, she did land. Okay, never mind. She is not dead. I lied. I'm a liar. Alright, well, good job, Alberic. Do we have Mentor on you? Yes, indeed we do, because I did that right before the battle. Let's get you hard to hit, and then sit there. Who knows? Perhaps Leoncoeur is wandering around out here, because otherwise, what would he be doing? He's at war with us and with the Defenders of the Great Plan, meaning all of his armies should be pushing their way southward. Anyway, I believe that was the only battle to do right now, which means I'm going to make a cut, do the rest of the admin. By the looks of it, yeah, just double checking. Yeah, I'll make a cut, do the rest of the admin, and then we shall... Right. Can you reach the high place? No. Also, it's probably not worth fighting, frankly. Especially since we have the 3-ish armies here. Alright, here comes another cut while we do the admin, and then hopefully we'll be able to fight Archaon next turn. Alright, there we go. Admin made once again, or completed. Let's see if Archaon is brave enough to face Louen in single combat, or at least as single combat-like as we can make it. As I'm sure either army, well, mostly their army, would try to interfere. Anyway, Rakarth, you're gonna try to peace out with us. No need, you'll be dead within the next few turns, if the AI is actually willing to kill you, unlike, you know, Empire and Festus. Just the festering wound of the Empire there. And I see that Norska, the colonization of it, is continuing by the Decadent Host, and no, Archaon is not brave enough. Well, inspired citizens or protected citizens, melee defense and leadership versus weapon strength and melee attack. I think the melee defense is probably more valuable, but I don't really care about the leadership. This is our infantry, mind you. If only this had armor instead of a leadership, then I would probably pick protected citizens. Granted, our peasant mobs have very little melee attack, and I think they, or melee defense, I think they have more melee attack than defense. Nonetheless. And oh, I maybe should have read that because I don't remember what it said, and if we had already read it before in this particular campaign. Where was that again? Hidden statue. On his travels at night by happenstance has stumbled upon a statue of the lady, forged of solid gold. Many in the court suggest we bring it back to the city as a monument, but locals near the forest say it protects them from dark forces. What shall we do? Locals near the forest? Sounds like those are peasant locals. Obviously, we take their precious statue. Okay, well, I see Throg is ready for a thrashing, because he's nearby. Archaon, what, just ran away? What the heck? And this is Hulscurry. Hulscurry and Azazel are still there. Archaon has run. And I see Throg is still not there. Well, I guess we could give Louen a fight versus Throg. It would be nice to defeat Throg in single combat as well. Throg's a pretty tough fighter after all. 853 without his buffs up and running. And what level is he? He's level 18, so he's at least a higher level than Archaon is. Let's see what's going on over here. Siggy's still running around. Norska.
Guardian.
And I guess this is one of the annoying aspects of not being able to, or not wanting, I should say, to colonize certain territories. Because, well, you leave them as ruins, but then all of this was ruins, and the Siggy just moves in and colonizes them all. So either you take stuff for yourself or you give it to an ally, but otherwise enemies will take it over. Anyway, no fights for you by the looks of it, Faye Enchantress. I'm just double checking if there's potential fights to be had elsewhere. Aha, Leoncoeur, yes. Actually, your army isn't all that much better than the armies we fought before, but I suppose it don't matter too much as long as we can... we can't reach him this turn? Yeah, because we landed. Well, that's a shame. A crying shame, but with two armies there together, I'm willing to bet they'd be willing to attack. So we'll put you there, and frankly, we were leveling up Jolene because she's magnanimous, but I'm probably not going to bother sending her back anywhere. You know what? Assuming you don't have anything on you, which you don't, I'm just going to delete you, and we'll have Alberic fight them himself. In fact, Alberic, you can get your great cabin maxed out while we're at it.
Foolish request.
Ooh, that's a lot of anti-large. Alright, so we'll actually get a nice final battle for Albie. And I don't know how effective the enemies are going to be, but nonetheless, we'll probably want to level everybody up. Scarred Veteran for you, I think. Nah, you know what? Get Tough as Nails just for the 5% extra. You can get a Esteemed Combatant. 5% extra. I should have gotten Esteemed Combatant with you. Hit points. And lastly, you, Damsel of Life. You are going through Onslaught, and through Onslaught ye shall go. Alrighty, lovely. Well, let's hope that Alberic gets a nice fight next turn, but it won't be this turn. Let's double check anybody else. We are getting closer to these guys, but I think we'll be able to auto-resolve this, but I'll do that
What is your behest?
while editing. Alright, it looks like it's time to throw down with Throg. And
And my right.
wait, who should I attack? I don't know. We're gonna go for Throg first, and now Archaon is still nearby. Too cowardly to face us at the current time, perhaps, but we'll see. Anyway, another battle against Throg this time. You know, I'm gonna give it a quick save because there's a lot of editing, and if the game crashes, I'm going to be real salty after these super long to edit final sort of finale. Well, I guess the last few episodes also were of this nature. Anyway, I digress, or I stumble along. Here we go. Alrighty, very well indeed. I am happy that we are going to be able to knock out Throg. Who knows about Archaon, but at least the Lord of Trolls will have his bell. Oh, okay, that didn't quite work, but yeah, anyway. Here we go. Lewin's gonna go directly for Throggy Boy right in the middle of the enemy army, and luckily for us, the enemy army has 4 feral manticores, whereas we have, well, 4 royal flyers and 4 paladins, aside from Louen himself, so we're going to send a royal flyer led by a paladin to go after each one of those feral manticores, while Louen keeps Throg busy. And by keep him busy, I mean absolutely destroys him. Oh, and it looks like, damn, that was quick. Henri Le Massif and one of the units of a Royal Pegasus Knights, the Couronne Royal Air Force, knocks that Wyvern out of the sky, quickly followed by the Nightingales knocking the second Wyvern out. Looks like it's taking a little bit longer for the Royal Hippogriff Knights to take the Feral Manticores out, but I guess that does make sense, considering they have much larger models and they can't have as many units hitting that single Wyvern at the same time. Anyway, Louen continues taking Throg on one-on-one, and he'll have no problem with this one, as I think Throg is too low level to really pose a threat by the looks of it. Does have the Wintertooth Crown up and running, but yeah, that's not gonna help. And 1 or 2 more hits and he'll be out of here. Though it looks like the rest of our army has moved on in as well. Alright, Beaky, and down goes Throggy Boy, crushing some of his marauders underneath his bulk, while the rest of his marauders are crushed by the knights that have moved in. Frankly, the battle was pretty much over before our main knightly force actually entered the fray, as the elites of the enemy were destroyed by our elites, and I think that the Royal Pegasus Knights, Royal Hippogriff Knights, and Paladins together could have taken the rest of the enemy army without any further issue. And there we go. No further issue was seen, and an extremely quick battle, less than 2 minutes, sees Throg destroyed, and probably not to be seen again. Damn, 0 losses and 0 damage, absolute air and ground superiority as well. Poor Throggy. We're gonna execute the captives once more, and hey, it looks like we will be able to reach level 50 by the end of the campaign. Nice to see. It's too bad we can't reach Jorel Blood Reaper here. Ooh, more weapon strength out of defeating Throg. Not a bad pickup at all for Lou. Let's move you here. And who knows, maybe the Goromadni tribe will be willing to attack us together with Olaf here. I'd love to fight all of these guys plus Archaon at the same time. Don't be scared, Archaon. What are you even doing out here? Trying to run to Astrogoth? Cowards. Anyway, we should still have time to loop around back here for Azazel and hopefully Throt, if he actually deigns to defend to help it, otherwise it might not be worth our time. I'm still into the whole Black Pyramid thing, but for now, I guess I'm gonna make another cut and do the admin, and then we'll proceed for more battles. So, cut number... I've lost count. Alrighty, there we go, moves made, and really the only thing of significance throughout all that admin was that I decided to give Nashrak's lair to Draika for 2 reasons. 1, because she is best girl, and 2, because she's kind of in the middle of everything, and it would be ideal if she didn't freak out and attack the Ice Court or Reichland or undefended Sylvanian territories. And she wanted Nashrak's lair so much that she was willing to declare war on every single faction that we were at war with at the same time, and still had a few points left over to give us a little bit of cash. So I'm very happy with that particular transaction, and it will, by the looks of it, fix the relationship between Draika and the Ice Court, which was the most likely to be bad, because Reichland doesn't really dislike the Wargrove of Woe in the first place. So it's looking good for now. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's end the turn, and let's hope this, and Archaon all try to attack Louen. No guarantee, of course, but, well, Here's open. Alright, Disciples of Hashut, Avalor, Nagaroth, where be the War Host of the Apocalypse? Ah, yes, well, you're not a War Host of the Apocalypse, but you are what we were looking for a final battle for Alberic. The battle over control of the seas, considering we've already destroyed Count Noctilus and pretty much anybody else who would stand against Alberic's supremacy in the seas. Well, I suppose both won, but, you know, they're our allies, so yeah. We do have to face off against the very much superpowered versions of the Blackheart Corsairs that Louen brings to bear. 63 missile strength on these guys, and armor-piercing melee weapon strength as well as very solid armor, especially considering the relative lack of armor-piercing damage on the Knights of the Realm and the fact that they're designed to be anti-large. Plus this massive line of bonus spears. Should be a pretty interesting time. Let's see if Alberic can handle himself here. Away we go. Alrighty, here we go. I am very, very happy that we managed to find Louen. He's only level 23, but we're only level 31. And let's see, the stats. Generally speaking, it seems that Louen has worse stats, but it might be deceptive. They're not that much worse, A. B, he has a lot more HP, he hits a lot harder even without any buffs used, and he has Sundering Armor on top of all that, which would mean we'd have less armor and we'd be getting hit a lot harder by him at the same time as he has more HP. Hard to say. I wonder who's going to take this one. Well, we're going to do our best to try to get a one-on-one going between Louen and between Alberic. Also, really love the lighting and this map in general, but Cathan maps are always pretty much are really good looking. Alright, and we're heading forward. Of course, we can't see most of the enemy. We can't see most of the enemy Blackheart Corsairs as yet. There's a Wrath of Manan coming down on a few of them and doing a teensy bit of damage, but now that we've flown over them, and we can at least sight them and allow our trebuchets to start dishing out the damage. But there we go, Alberic drops down, getting his heroic killing blow up and running, but that still does not match the damage that Louen is able to put out. Charging the Knights in, but we're not actually after Louen here, but rather after all his units. Gotta engage all those Blackheart Corsairs with handbows to prevent them from doing damage with them, and especially as they're super buffed. Oh, and it looks like, let's see what we have here. Louen is down to a little bit below half HP, and Alberic has lost only about a quarter of his. He does have his Sundered Armor down now, though, so he's down to only 83 armor. And, oh, they're now both at about half HP. Oh, damn, this is gonna be an even fight. Well, keep on dueling, you two, while the Knights fight in the background. To be fair, we've seen Knights fight many a time in this particular campaign, so I'd like to see the two duel. It's Hippogriff versus Sea Dragon here, but it looks like not for long, as Alberic has to get the heck out. Down to like 10% of his HP, a little bit over that, and we're going to regrow him as he backs up and tries to regroup. Louen is still in the fight, however, and I guess he wins the duel. And good job to him, though that doesn't mean he'll win the battle, as his Blackheart Corsairs are all engaged with their Knights of the Realm and are unable to achieve anything so far by the looks of it, and though he does have a pretty big reinforcing force moving in. Let's see if that'll be enough. And though somehow I doubt it. Alright, keep working on it, Knights of the Realm. Your lord has not fallen. It's merely a tactical retreat while he lifts off and, I don't know, kills a few peasants. Or just for fun. To psych himself up for going back into the fray. Knights of the Realm now surround Louen here, and while he's distracted, and we should be able to move Alberic back in, especially now that he's near to half HP. Another Earthblood and maybe another recovery and he'll be ready to go. Though unfortunately it looks like Leoncoeur has broken right before Alberic moved back in. Alrighty, well the enemy reinforcing army is here. We're gonna get those blessed trebuchet shots right into the middle of as many of those dread spears as we can, and they'll also have to contend with moving through a dwellers below, which I'm sure is gonna hit them pretty hard. I think that was the only spell, and damaging spell I should say, that our damsel has cast. 56 damage and 56 kills rather, and 31k damage, 32k. Okay, it's still rising, pretty good. Dwellers Below is a very, very nasty spell. And it's lovely that we got this great vantage point allowing our units of trebuchets to fire from up on those hills. And it looks like with Leoncoeur defeated, the rest of his forces having a pretty bad day. Murderous Prowess is activated, but too little, too late. They're not going to be able to use it as a win harder button, and they're certainly not going to be able to use it as a lose slower button, and because they've already lost. And there we go. Now the army shatters and the battle is ours. Once again, a fairly quick one at about 4 minutes, well, 3.5 minutes. But some lovely shots and a lovely little duel between these two. The rest of our knights looks like they have not taken all that much in the way of damage, which I'm pretty happy with, but we will have to chase a lot of the enemy down, so that'll be once again off screen. Alrighty, very nice. We came to Cathay to get the duel between these Masters of the Sea, and it looks like we got it. Unfortunately, Leoncoeur just barely able to edge out a victory over Alberic in a one-on-one. Of course, we didn't have the Paladins or the Green Knight help in the duel, though I guess the Green Knight wasn't ready at the time the duel was going on anyway. That said, Alberic did edge out to Leoncoeur by doing almost twice as much damage over the course of the battle, so there is still that to consider, and I suppose the fact that we hadn't put much points in his red line, or his yellow, wait, or have we? Well, I'm gonna double check, but he's not as fighty as he should be is what I'm getting at, or at least is not as fighty as he could be. He also lacks regen. No, actually he has the Gilded Cuirass, but he doesn't have the healing potion because he has to use the Braid of Bordelot. No, nonetheless, it was a very close battle, and it would have been unfortunate if Leoncoeur ended up being too weak to fight, so I am happy with the result. I'm still a little bit not happy with the way that the Green Knight seems to suffer from the same issue as vanilla Murderous Prowess, as well as the... what do you want? Kotep now, as well as the Grail Relique, as in it's a win harder button in the sense that it just takes way too long. No, Ecstatic Legions are attacking Rakeland. It takes way too long to actually be able to activate it. And enter war inside of ally, sure, everybody's fighting everybody. And what do you want, Tyrannok? Yeah, the cooldown on the Green Knight during battle really shouldn't be that long either. I don't think he's a powerful enough unit on the field in order to warrant such a long cooldown. And frankly, the same goes for the Grail Relique's super long cooldown as well. Military Alliance... do we want this for any particular reason? Are you gonna declare war on somebody because you're a maniac? You know what, no, I don't trust you, Tyrannok. Decline. Can't trust Tyrannok. Alrighty, well, it looks like Archaon was too cowardly to attack Louen, but might we still be able to attack him? Well, reach him at the very least, and we shall see. Defeated Leoncoeur, Felhart, missile resistance 25%, that's great. I would have actually loved to have that on Louen, not that he super needs it. Immune to storm and reef attrition. Is Alberic not already immune to storm and reef attrition? I would imagine that he is. Well, either way, he's basically back at full HP, and oh, well, Deathmaster snitches here. I wasn't gonna bother having, faction destroyed. I was not going to bother having Alberic fight anybody again, as I was considering that to be the last battle. Maybe we take Deathmaster Snitch down too, although his army is actually considerably weaker than Leoncoeur's was. It's only 17 out of 20, it just has Deathmaster Snitch who's at level 21 and a bunch of Knight Runners which have half the missile strength and no armor. Yeah, this army would stand no chance against us, wouldn't it? I'll think about it, might not be worth our time, it'll just get ripped apart. And ooh, I also noticed we may have screwed our Knights of Caledor allies over as they're kind of getting ripped apart by the Chaos Dwarfs, which we kind of forced them into an attack on. Alright, well that's their problem for now. Otherwise, in this particular turn, let me just see here, other than Louen potentially going out and attacking Archaon, I think that's the only possible battle, so the rest will be admin. And I can do that after, so let us... Where are you, Louen? I mean, in theory, we probably want to prioritize... Ooh, wait, if we can do this right... If we can do this right, I'm not sure that we can. We may be able to... Okay, I hope I'm not going to screw this up. I'm going to move you here. What I'd like to do is essentially push Jorhul Blood Reaper towards Archaon and then force Archaon into a fight. I'm going to assume that you're going to run now, Jorhul. Yes, and is the angle off? Yeah, I think the angle was off. Damn. Alright, well, that didn't work. And Archaon will probably run. And he'll probably run too far away. Bit of a shame. I'm just wondering if there's anything else we could do about this, but I don't think so. And frankly, this army by itself is not worth our time. It's just too weak. We can try not destroying it and then hoping all three of these guys attack us. And just auto-resolve. Ooh, wait, if we auto-resolve this guy's army... Okay, wait, I have an idea. We'll auto-resolve you, because obviously Archaon will run. Wait 1 second. Other possibility? No, I was thinking if we attack here, push him this way, maybe he'd move that way, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen either. Alright, auto-resolve this guy. I'm hoping that with the auto-resolve, our army will be sufficiently to... Oh, he's gonna run too, damn it. You cowardly jerks. Alright. You, Louen, are now gonna, what, suffer attrition? Are you even... Can you even suffer attrition? Nah, you're immune to it, you're fine. Alright, stick around here.
I go forth.
I was hoping we could auto-resolve and force our army to get damaged via the auto-resolve, which might force these guys into an actual fight, but that doesn't look like it's happening right now, but not to worry. We still have a few turns while we make our way down to the Black Pyramid. It's gonna take a while to get there, but hey, all in the name of an epic finale. You're gonna move down here, and you are going to move down here as well, and it's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4 turns by the looks of it to actually attack. Alright, and I guess the rest of the admin will need another cut, and then we'll end the turn again, and then hopefully be able to hit Archaon. So, here comes another cut. Alright, there we go. We continue to advance with auto-resolves elsewhere, but here I decided to declare war on Deathmaster Snitch. Now, I don't know whether this is worth fighting, but I'd like to find out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop into Crusade stance, and we're gonna attack Dai Cheng and try to draw Deathmaster Snitch into a fight. It really depends on what's here, and it is... it's just a bunch of Skaven slaves. I don't think this is worth fighting. They'll all maybe just crash into their lines and they all die instantly, basically. And then we spend like 50 minutes chasing them around. Yeah, sadly, Deathmaster Snitch is not worth our time. And goodbye. Crown of Command, and then we will, I guess, occupy it to heal here, though I guess we could have healed outside anyway. And Deathmaster by nature gives us Hero Cost, Hero Success Chance, and Attribute Stock for Alberic, none of which is particularly useful. Alright, not a big deal. And you know what? We are damaged, which may mean that another army might be willing to try to fight him. I don't think so, but who knows? Honestly, with the death of the... Yeah, see? We crushed Leoncoeur's army/armies, and he's already gone in terms of his balance of power. Granted, we're so powerful at this point in the game that the balance of power is obviously going to be skewed in our favor massively, but nonetheless, there's still a few factions that have a tiny bit of power, unlike poor Leoncoeur. Anyway, let's skip, damage building up. Oh, I should have checked this already. Outpost in Sentry Glades in the Huantal. And we can't take Quixotal. I don't think this matters all that much, but at the same time, I don't want to rebuild it. Well, honestly, we probably never will bother with it. Alright, just put it in Sentry Glades, I guess. Yeah, this is a little bit too likely to get attacked. Sentry Glades. Alright, good enough. And that was the only thing we needed to do, so let's end the turn, and let's hope this time either Archaon attacks us, or we can chase him down. Come on now. If we had a little bit more movement range, I would have tried to put Louen into ambush stance, but it ain't likely to work here. Anyway, defensive alliance decline. Alright, where are you, Archaon? Alright, I see no Clan Eshin, and I believe no Blessed Dread attacking Alberic again, but he's already essentially crushed them, and then damn, yeah. Looks like Archaon won't attack again. Alright, well, he may not have attacked, but let's see, Jorhul is still right beside us. Where did Archaon go? I don't see him anymore. He must have run away here. What is this? Take the Ever-Chosen's crown. Eliminate the fall. Yeah, I want to. Damn it, game. Now the game's just mocking us. Chivalry -2 return control, -2 in local province. How dare you? Oppressor. Hey, we built all those brothels. And now people are being corrupted. Hey, the 1,000 Moths have actually been destroyed. I am shocked. That is the AI actually destroying a faction, unlike the Reichland AI, which refuses to break Pestis. I swear, I feel like this has been programmed into the game on purpose with certain factions in order so that other factions are constantly, essentially, a thorn in their sides. Keep the Empire from getting too powerful by constantly having it break itself upon the brass keep. I do it myself, but it's kind of not worth our time at this point in the game. Oh, I'm just double checking that there are no armies out here that we need to fight. No, it's still looking pretty good. Nagrand is still alive, but there's no armies to be had there. Alrighty, Jorhul, this is not worth Lewin's time, sadly. It's okay. And just kill off this army. He's gonna run. Ooh, wait, what if he backs up to Plusk? What do we have here? There's nothing there. Okay, great. Alright, fine. Destroy, just auto-resolve this real quick, and we'll try to chase Archaon down. We've got a few more turns to try, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna spend like 8 years. You did not have perfect vigor before? Wow, everybody else got that before you? I think he might have had a different source of perfect vigor. But anyway, Louen take... Oh, we can actually take Novkazi instead of Plusk, which would put us a little bit closer to Archaon. Alright, fine, take Novkazi. Maybe these guys will take Plessa, but it looks like Pestilost will retake Prague. I'd resolve this. Occupy. And another student, a Forbidden Rod, Pit Fighter, all of this stuff we don't care about. Hey, Lewin's finally reached level 50. I was hoping to get that before the end of the campaign. I imagine Archaon will keep running, though. But who knows, the AI might do something stupid and not run far enough away. He is allied with the Disciples of Hashut. Oh! I guess what we could do if we really wanted to is get Louen down to Uskalak and take out the capital of the Chaos Dwarfs just because we can. And then move back around to help it. Maybe by then... Throg will revive? I don't know whether it'll happen, but it's a possibility. Anyway, I guess that'll mean another cut, because I don't see any battles happening with anybody here, as there's nobody nearby that actually threatens any of our armies. At least not that I can see from this. Alright, well, let's try to find a few more battles. We still have the main two that I want to fight, despite how long this episode's gone on. Which is the Wars of Errantry, Wildlands, and the Black Pyramid. But we are drawing very close to the Black Pyramid, at which point we will fight the battle to end the campaign, which is the Wars of Errantry. Anyway, another cut. Alright, another turn of admin bites the dust. Let's end the turn again, and let's once again see if Archaon will be close enough to attack. If he stays reasonably close and we can't reach him, I'm gonna try to ambush him. And not the most chivalrous thing to do, but, well, and what can you do? Goraki wants us to declare war against Clan Pestilence. I'm gonna say no, mostly because I don't want to deal with it right now. Though, with them only having one settlement left, maybe we just destroy them for good. On the other hand, I suppose them being alive is probably the only thing that's actually keeping Gorok from declaring war on the Hunts Marshal. And we'd have to join them, of course, so, I have to think about that. Another perverted oppressor. There's plenty of these in Archaon. How you doing, bud? You've moved around. Yes! Archaon, you're dead. Alrighty, we did it, folks. We finally did it. Archaon is close enough now to attack. I guess we'll attack him directly rather than the Temple of Heimkel because, well, frankly, it doesn't really matter, but, well, it's Archaon that we want to engage with. Alright, let's take a quick look at if there's anybody else to move around and attack. And what do we have here? Ooh, somebody's taking Crookback Mountain. Yeah, Emmerich's in trouble. He's definitely in trouble, and his army is absolute trash. Imric, what are you doing? Where are your dragons, man? Does he actually have access to them? Might have access to some somewhere, but he is only tier 4, and I just checked it last turn, and we still can't frickin' recruit dragons. Etain has basically no elite units available to it. It's just AI. Try harder. At least to build growth buildings and get those special units up and running. Oh, and it looks like we're about 2 turns away from being able to reach the Black Pyramid and all of this stuff that these two armies are gonna face off against, so that'll be nice as well. So yeah, it's great that we've caught Archaon at this time, because it's great that we caught him at this time because the other battles draw near, and so does the end of the campaign. Away you go, Luna. Ow. We should probably level you guys up, huh? Alright, fine. I got excited. You can, I guess, keep moving through egocentric. Frankly, it doesn't really matter, but whatever. We should then... We don't care about Indomitable, so full plate armor and probably devastating charge. Your charge is actually surprisingly low, but I think we'd still get more mileage out of the armor. Little though it may be. On the other hand, the charge feels appropriate. It's not like these guys ever die. You know what, maybe we'll go devastating charge. Make him do a little bit more damage. You are in selective abhorrence, and you are in... Well, I guess we'll keep moving through egocentric then. Oh, did I not get We Are the Elite on you? No, yeah, I did, alright. Good job, Pastor Ruinous. Egocentric, bud. Oh, no, I didn't realize I didn't get you Deadly Blade. The heck am I doing? Not good job, Pastor Ruinous. Hey, alright. What do we have here? Magics are maxed out. We could get Lady's Mantle, but it probably will give you no value. Let us instead get Calming and then Potent. And, I mean, we get Aerial Shield for when you miscast, for a little bit of extra spell resistance. Why not? Frankly, it won't make much of a difference either way. And then lastly, Matthias, the follower, selective abhorrence for you, and I guess Deadly Blade for you. As well, that maxes out Lewin's army, which means, Lewin, away you go, and go for that 1v1 against Archaon. He may be level 16 and you may be level 50, but this is Archaon we're talking about. He's a pretty devastating fighter at the worst of times for him, so... yeah. And frankly, army-wise, this is one of the worst of his times. One of the worst of his end times. Ha 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 ha.
By the lady!
Well, if it isn't the ever-chosen Wellity. Finally, we've been able to hunt him down and bring him to battle. It doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would normally run, but here we are. Now let's break those fancy horns off of his head. Alrighty, and here comes Louen. We're gonna do our best to try to get a one-on-one in between these two monster combatants. Beaky versus Dorgar, which is the more adorable mount? Alright, well, at least Archaon still swings his sword, even though Beaky seems to be doing most of the work for Louen here. And let's see the damage, and it's about even so far. Everybody's buffing and debuffing each other up, though I don't think we're doing this directly so much as everybody around. Let's see what's going on with the rest of the battle. We've separated our paladins. Sir Algor is trying to duel one of the Chaos Giants, a Gaston of Couronne, and Matthias the Follower going after the other giant, while Henri le Massif is going after Prince Ograx, the enemy exalted hero. Though it looks like the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, surprisingly units of Tzeentch, moving in to help a Coronate hero, are keeping Henri from getting a duel with him. Not to worry and not a problem for us, however, as the rest of our knights move into the fray all around the duel between Archaon and Louen, and as it looks like the duel is not being interrupted. And it also looks like Archaon is still holding on, though he seems to have failed to do too much damage to Louen so far. Especially when the line of Bretonnian stand your ground is popped, that melee defense on Louen is pretty darn insane. And the rest of Archaon's army is in pretty horrific shape. Those Chaos Knights are out, and frankly, pretty much everything but the two giants are done for. Archaon will continue fighting, of course, but that's as it should be. Alrighty, swing the Slayer of Kings around all you want, Archaon. I just don't think you're going to be able to break through Loun's HP and regeneration. Alrighty, down to about half HP now. And this is not like Alberic versus Leoncoeur in this particular situation, as where Alberic didn't have any points applied in his fighty tree, in his personal fighty tree. Louen very much does, and he can, well, by the looks of it, he's already nearly to full HP. His regeneration is out damaging Archaon. In the meantime, the rest of Archaon's army is pretty much gone. Only Chaos Spawn and I think one giant remains, the other one has been brought down, plus whatever remains of that exalted hero who has now switched to dueling Gaston of Couronne. The rest of our knights are going to head towards the reinforcing army of Norskins, and frankly, we don't even need our elites to deal with this, as it is, well, not the most threatening Norskin units. Maybe if they had some mammoths and frostworms or some other crazy nonsense, but they just don't. Alright, and in the meantime, oh, it looks like Archaon is in fact routing. He's at about half HP, and he is going to break, which means the battle is ours. With Archaon routing and in fact shattering, we're just going to make sure that we kill everything here. And I think the duel was pretty definitive. Louen has taken no damage whatsoever. Or at the very least, while he did take damage, he recovered it. The giant goes down under the Royal Flyers and the Paladins, and back here, it looks like their Norskin allies slash minions are going to be routing shortly as well, especially as they have to hit all the blob of knights with the, oh, nice arrow on that guy, with the Shield of Thorns up and running. And there we go, just like that, after a long chase, Archaon's army is done. It was in march stance, so it will not be coming back. And in fact, if we could just bring Archaon down himself, I'd love to see it. Alright, come on, somebody. There we go, and it looks like Louen gets the kill as well. Fantastic, well-deserved, great duel for you, and the rest can be chased off-screen. Alrighty, there we go. I'd like to say that was pretty darn definitive. We were able to keep it more or less one-on-one between Archaon and Louen, and did not buff Louen up at all with any of our spells, and he destroyed Archaon, or at least forced him to rout or shatter him without taking any damage himself. So, yeah, very, very nice. And he will only get stronger off of this, as the defeat trait, I believe, for Archaon is a lot stronger now. 5% physical resistance, a little bit of spell resistance, and all armies faction-wide get bonuses. Huh. Oh, that's actually kind of insane. Man, I guess if you're playing a good faction, you want to essentially try to farm Archaon on every single lord. Get this on 10 lords and get plus 20 melee attack against a lot of factions. It's quite nice. Anyway, Crown of Command, Treasury, there we go, quest completed, and we now have only Errantry Badlands and then Errantry of the Realm, which is just recruit a bunch of knights. We're not going to bother doing that one because we just won't get the capacity. It's not really possible, but that's just fine. Anyway, with that, Louen, since you've completed what you wanted to complete, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to now move you through Helpit and then to the Tower of Karak. Really, I mostly just want him to fight Azazel, but it's not a big deal if we don't get to. I would like to bring Helpit down if there are defending Skaven there, but if it's by itself, we won't bother and we'll just do the errantry. So, really, we have at minimum 2 battles left, or maybe 3, depending on if we draw these armies out to fight these armies, but yeah, Black Pyramid and Errantry War final battle are all we got. Now, I do believe that there are no other battles this particular turn, which will mean another little cut, and then we'll hopefully come back and get to 1 turn away from that Black Pyramid battle. Anyway, here comes cut number, I've lost count. Alrighty, there we go. Admin once again complete, though there ain't much left of it. We're up to 7.2k per turn at the coast of Araby, and will rise to plus 5% when the Sanctuary of the Errant here is completed as well. So, looks like at the very least the coast of Araby is a nice province. It just blows every other territory so far out of the water, and that includes Tilea and Estalia. I wasn't quite expecting that, considering these provinces have so many money-making things, but I guess this also has 1, 2 special buildings plus the tier 5 port as well, so it's quite nice. There's a bonus 900 without buffs money out of all of those, so yeah. The Holy Monastery here makes 1,000 by itself. In addition to that, we've finally gotten to tier 5 at Magritta, which means we're getting the Arch Ecclesiastium of Myrmidia up and running, though it looks like the campaign will end before then, as I don't think we have 5 turns. We probably didn't need the upkeep reduction on the various peasants anyway. They are an afterthought, both in the campaign and in the lore. And, well, the control +1 we actually could have used, but it just took way too long to grow and tech towards it. Anyway, and another turn, and we're nearly there. There was some outpost stuff, but you know what? I'll do it in the next cycle of admin, and frankly, it doesn't matter. We're past needing outpost stuff. Too bad none of the Cathians survived. I would have liked a few of their units, but oh well. And hey, Throt is back. Alright, let's try to loop back around and see if we can't get Throt now that we've gotten Archaon. I mean, even Throt isn't that big of a deal, but hey, it might be nice. Military access, who are you? Ungol Kindred. And they're probably going to get confederated. And Olaf, you're going to try to attack Louen, but you'll die by auto-resolve. We'll kill the captives because we can get a little bit of extra movement range. Reichland is mobilizing, allies beginning to build some outposts. Thief is ready, imminent incursion. Trollheim Mountains. What? Oh, the Bay of Blades. Yeah, sure. That's not actually going to happen, but whatever. You can just move and... Oh, can't quite reach it, can you? Oh, interesting. Okay, well then. And, Alright, fine. You're going to go into a camp stance, or you're going to go to... Oh, this wouldn't put us in the right province, would it? I'd rather not suffer attrition on this army unnecessarily. Alright, well, we'll just let it rebel and then destroy whatever rebellion comes. Oh, and in fact, we're not even keeping any of these. Abandoned settlement, whatever. I don't know why I was thinking about that. Anyway, Louen, you would like to go towards Throg. It would be nice if Serena Katrin took plus scout without us having to do it for her.
By the light of
I mean, we could go down to Skalag, but there's no guarantee there will be a defending army. I would imagine Throg will try to run or return to help, but yeah, let's try Throg. It'll take a couple turns to reach there unless we march stance, which has actually about the same movement range, because I guess Lewin's maxed out in terms of his move. Alright, well, and great for Louen. Move past Serena Katrin here and try to go for Throg, help it, and possibly Azazel. Oh, actually, no. Looks like Azazel is either dead, or, let's see, the balance of power. Yeah, I think he died. Doesn't look like he has an army left. Okay, well, screw Azazel then. He was never going to be a challenge anyway. We got Archaon, and that's what counts. Otherwise, I do believe we've got another cut to make, as I don't see any battle potential here. But not to worry, next turn, after this cut, we'll be able to attack the, Black Pyramid. The Sentinels are ready to go. This will be a heck of a fight, and ooh, all of their armies have moved closer together. That's great. I'd rather fight them all at once instead of piecemeal as well. Alright, that'll be the second last most likely battle of the campaign, and oh, we can resummon the Green Knight, huh? I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm not sure that we need to. He'll never level up enough, will he? I guess we could summon him just because. Yeah, go for it. I'm not gonna bother putting him in Lewin's army anymore, though. I don't think there's a need. Let him just level up a couple of times. Maybe get a few buffs for some things, or maybe even use him as a... Wait, can he do anything and take any actions as a hero? No, he cannot. Either way, not a big deal. Let us get one more set of admin, one more cut, and then we'll do the Black Pyramid. Alright, there it is, and here we go. Time to hit up the Black Pyramid of Nagash. Well, assuming, I suppose, that something else doesn't attack us, and we have to fight another battle while we wait. Oh, I'm excited for this. 6 stacks versus Raponce and the Fey Enchantress, and at that, we have to remember that their stacks are made primarily of peasants, or at least much more peasant-heavy than Lewin's or Alberic's. And so that should make it an exciting battle. Or two. Military alliance with Lorelorn. You know what? Fine, Lorelorn. You better not declare war on somebody who we're friendly with. And just so that they don't bother asking us again, you're gonna attack the Bay of Blades. Oh, I thought I should have abandoned it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, we can move over here and destroy those little rebels. And oh, you idiots, you've moved away from the main settlement. Unfortunately, it's just a pile of basic units. I'm inclined to say it's more important to attack the Black Pyramid than these guys. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. Incursion, Trollheim Mountains, yeah, Confederation with Safari, oh. Hey, we're over 60k per turn now, nice. Allied Outpost lost, Allied Outpost lost, Clan Pestilence destroyed, wow, look at that. Gorok, he's actually taken out 2 enemy factions, Rakarth and Lord Skroak. Wasn't expecting that one. Ready for duty, technology research, armor plus 10 for knight units, fine, 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 and a feast, a little bit more money from industry. Not that we have a crazy amount of industry over farmland, but, well, we actually have a decent amount now. I also decided to abandon all of these, though now that I think about it, now it's impossible to tell where there are Skaven and where there aren't. Not that it matters, as Alberic has fought his last battle, most likely. Speaking of fighting last battles, alright. Pre-last battle, wait, actually, one thing I want to check, Louen. Where's Lord Scrollkey? He might be at Help It. Alright, Louen, I would like you to move here. If that was Throg, I probably would have tried him, but it's not, so yeah. Move here and try not to get a plague. Don't tell me this is a plague, man. No, it's a Doom Engineer, right? Yeah, it's a Doom Engineer. Oh. I really didn't want to get plagueinated. Louen, just here, please, into the Help It. Actually, no, go into Prague. Less likely to just randomly get a plague that way. Don't be in a Skaven territory if you can avoid it, right? Green Knight, you had only half a level up over that turn, unfortunately. Hopefully Serena Katrin can handle Plex. In fact, I should give her enough Kazi in the other stuff, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, you're gonna move here, Louen, and let us now do the battle. Alright, Rapunzel and the Fey Enchantress. Let's also level you up before this fight, as it's gonna be a heck of a fight. You, Fey, have the Worshippers of the Grail, but you need Glorfiniel's Progeny to buff up your Hermit Knights and your Grail Guardians. So, Glorfiniel's Progeny it is. Alright, now your Pallies, a 1 point into Mentor to level up all Pallies everywhere all the time. And... I mean, I guess we could start going through We Are the Elite. I could just make you a stronger fighter yourself. Why do you even have full plate armor? Oh, I think we acquired this paladin from another lord and just kept him, which is why this is a little bit odd looking. Yeah, let's get We Are the Elite, I guess. And then again, we might need you to kill some things. You know what? Let's get you 2 into Hard to Hit and 1 into Blady's Mantle, because we'll be facing off against Ushabti with Great Bow. I guess Scarred Veteran as well. Alright. You are not maxed out in Blessings of the Lady. I would like you to get Lady's Mantle and Deadly Onslaught. And Blessing of the Lady, and let's get you Deadly Blade as well. Nice, nice. Can't wait for the Hermit Knights to do their thing, see how effective they are. 132. Might fight these guys as well, could do a double fight. But I think we start with the Black Pyramid because it'll be the more difficult fight. And we'll see if we can still move after being damaged. Rapunzel, you are going to get Mentor, or at least your pal Aladdin is. Gotten the hang of that now. We Are the Elite. Might as well max it out. Oh. Wait, do we need Banish the Dead? Nah, not really. I mean, yes, it's bonus versus the dead, but it's not for the army. It's just for this one unit, and frankly, I don't think it's a big enough deal to care. You're gonna get a soft small for small folk and enchanting beauty, I think. Although... Chain Lightning and Comet of Cassandora are particularly useful against massive piles of the... massive piles of the Skelly Boys, so I think it might still be worth our time. And let's instead get Enchanting Beauty on you. Can't get Recovery. And thus we'll get 1 point into Wild Heart. I do periodically spam Vison's Wild Form. Frankly, Pans would also be quite useful here, but it's too late now and I don't want to redo it. Alrighty. As for who will attack first... I'm inclined to say I want it to be the Fey Enchantress. Mostly because I want the Hermit Knights into combat faster. As we've already seen those guys fight. So, Faye, you will attack, and then Rapunzel will reinforce. Moving to the Crusade stance seems appropriate for you. Right here.
Move together.
Yes. Then... right there. Declare war. Making this attack is an act of war. Yes, making an attack is generally an act of war. Thank you, though. No allies have been chosen. We didn't ask any allies, so that's just fine. Away we go. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You're gonna run? Really? Okay. That's fine, then. You know what? Maybe that's actually a good thing. We're not going to attack the Black Pyramid like this. I'm gonna force a field battle. And the way I would like to do this... oh. Banner of Swiftness. And Twilight Banner. I would like the Banner of Swiftness on the Hermit Knights and the Twilight Banner on the Zotes. You are going to stay here. And then Rapunzel, you will also stay out here. Together. I'm thinking that all these armies will try to attack us while we attack the Black Pyramid. So we should be able to fight more of them in the field anyway. And Rapunzel, you can probably get more mileage out of the in-camp stance. 69, nice, and 77. Nice, nice. Alright, I never got any Grail Guardians in this army, did I? Not that, you know, the Enchantress really needs them. It would have been nice, but it's okay. We have the Hermit Knights. Anyway, I guess that will mean I have to do another turn of admin before we... okay, what? Damn it. Alrighty, that should do it, and we're finally, I hope, ready, in the sense that I'm hoping that they will actually attack us. Before we press end the turn and fight them, I just want to mention one quick thing, and it's that between all these cuts, I've just been essentially trading off territories that we've been conquering. I mean, if you guys recall, all of this, all of the Badlands, and the Southern Mountains of Morn, all of this, and then all of this up here was owned by enemies, and now it's owned by our allies, and I've been forcing them to declare war on our enemies so that they all like each other and, you know, don't freak out and start attacking each other. Alright, and it's been working reasonably well. Anyway, let's now end the turn. Skip, commandment outpost, don't care. It's the end of the campaign, end the turn, Black Pyramid, let's go. Alright, they better not wuss out. They have 5 stacks here, 5. AI, don't just screw me on this one. We spent a lot of time moving down here specifically to be able to do this, and we damn well should be able to. Alright, Sisters of Twilight, non-aggression pact. I mean, I guess. Are they? Just do it. Who knows? Maybe Mother Ostankia won't attack them after all. And yes, alright, they will indeed attack the Fey Enchantress, which was what we wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, including the elite stack out of the settlement garrison as well. Beautiful. Alright, I am extremely excited for this one. This may be, probably I would say, as likely to be the biggest battle of the campaign, so strap yourselves in and let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go. The biggest battle of the campaign as the Sentinels of the Black Pyramid of Nagash stand against the Fey Enchantress and Raponce de Lyonesse. This is, however, the strongest that Raponce's and, well, particularly the Fey Enchantress's army has ever been, as the Hermit Knights, with their glowing swords, Grail Knights as they are on the field. As our legendary unit. It is quite interesting that the legendary unit of the Bretonnians is an infantry unit and not a cavalry unit. And they will also be supported by the Zoats, which does make sense as they are a creature of Gairan, and with the lore of Life's Mastery of the Fey Enchantress, it is absolutely appropriate for there to be Zoats or Treemen or something of that nature in her army. Alright, and they will help support and apply that dampen on enemies as well as needed. Anyway, this should be a pretty darn interesting fight, not by sheer virtue, there we go, of the fact that the enemy has more than 7,000 units on the field, but rather by virtue of the way the reinforcements are gonna work. The main enemy army, together with ours, are right in the center of the field, but 2 of the bigger enemy armies, including their elite army from the garrison, are coming in behind us, so we will have to try to protect our units of trebuchets. And then the other one is coming in over on this side, wherein it will probably distract the army of Raponce. Whether that is going to work out in our favor or against us, I guess remains to be seen. Anyway, over on the flanks, our Grail Knights, now that we have 4 of them, are going to be dueling against some Nehekara horsemen together with the enemy Necropolis Knights, who smartly will move around instead of charging us directly and charge into the side of the Grail Knights. Of that said, I still don't think that they're going to have a very great time or an easy time against our Grail Knights, so and good luck to them. Same thing happening on this side. The enemy Necropolis Knights with halberds this time have already taken heavy damage fighting the Knights of Ni and the Companions of the Fae. And it looks like they're not going to be able to do too much to them. And on the bright side, this does allow us to keep all those cavalry units distracted and not going after our trebuchets. Lots of sepulchral stalkers fighting in the midst of all of these peasant mobs, battle pilgrims, I should say. We've also engaged the enemy with our Hermit Knights here, and the Zoats fighting with them together. I forget, do the Hermit Knights apply any... No, they're just magical fiery attacks. Okay. Well, the Grail Knights apply... Well, actually, no. Our Paladins apply Grail Banishment. The Grail Knights do not, but the Grail Guardians do. I was just thinking of combining the Banishment with the Dampen from the Zotes. But anyway, the Wardens of La Maison Tal together with the Hermit Knights, which actually does make sense, as the Wardens of La Maison Tal, like the Hermit Knights, would probably be guarding the Abbey of La Maison Tal, or some abbey, as that's what Hermit Knights tend to do. Being older Grail Knights as they are. Anyway, looks like the first of the enemy army is in extremely bad shape, and Rapunzel's army has arrived on the field. We've actually peeled away our questing knights together with Rapunzel to join the fray in the center, as we're about to get hit from both sides of the map at the same time. Slaneshi giggle, and we'll see whether we can prevent the bigger blob of enemies from destroying our trebuchets. Unfortunately, one of the flanks still has our Grail Knights busy, but the enemy center has roughly collapsed. Over on this side, it's just going to be a massive pile of peasants versus a massive pile of skeletons. We've left no nobles and no knights here. It's all foot squires against the enemy lord and whatever piles of tomb guard and skeleton warriors that they can bring to bear. But we do have the Beast Slayers of Bastan here to lead the rest of the peasants. And one of the Grail relics, the one night stand in particular, to buff everybody up. And though we still have 2 minutes of straight up fighting to go before we can activate the one night stands with the Grail Relics ability. And yeah, that is a massive line of peasants. We essentially had to leave them behind in order to join the fray here, but at least it seems to have gone pretty well. And the questing knights, by charging into the back of the remnants of the first enemy host, have managed to bring them down, and Rapunzel will move in with the mobs of peasants and the Zotes and the Hermit Knights to join the fray and try to see off the main enemy army. Yes, main enemy army, as that was only a warm-up, as the elites are still moving onto the field. Our trebuchets are trying to back off, but the enemy continues marching forward with tomb guard and skeletons and the like. And there are just too many units so that we can't hold them in place with our paladins and our Grail Knights, even though we're trying. We need more of our units to get onto this side of the field. And once again, you gotta love fighting these desert battles. Everything is gloriously visible, and you can see how big and epic these battles tend to be. Alright, finally more and more of our units are arriving. Our peasant mobs are getting closer and will be joining the fray shortly. The Grail Guardians have now finally destroyed the enemy Necropolis Knights and a unit of Ushabti, the Realm of Souls unit of Ushabti that was summoned upon them. And now the Grail Knights are also joined by Rapunzel's questing knights, so it looks like we'll be able to hold the enemy off from destroying our trebuchets, though we did have to back them off. The peasant mobs, together with the Zotes and the Hermit Knights, are surrounding whatever other units of Tomb Guard remain, as in the ones that are going after our trebuchets. And it looks like the battle is definitely moving to our favor. Over on this side, it looks like the peasants are still holding, and in fact, most of the enemy combatants, most of the enemy skeletons, are beginning to melt away, even as they continue getting heals from probably the last level of the Realm of Souls. But they just aren't breaking through our units of Squires, who do have 102 armor. Too bad that at this final point we don't have the buffs that the Green Knight brings, but considering we had to resummon him at level 1 again, hardly surprising. A little bit odd that he doesn't keep his levels. It would be nice if he kept, maybe not all of the levels, but kept like half or a third of the levels that he gained, so that he would get stronger as the campaign went on. Alrighty, looking good over here, and we've made it past 5 minutes now, which means the Grail Relics are now active, or able to be activated, with their holy presence. Though by the looks of it, we may not even need it. Those units that we shot to with Great Bow are moving onto the field, but now we have enough of Grail Knights and Questing Knights together to engage them, rather than allow them to snipe our elites, or our non-elites, really snipe anybody. And the enemy has failed to make their way through the peasant mobs as well, and we're just going to keep them back while we send the Hermit Knights and the Zotes forward to fight with the rest of our knightly hordes. A Tomb Scorpion / Dreadnought trying to face off against the Fey Enchantress here, but she's just healing through any of the damage being dealt to her. And it looks like the Tomb Scorpion will be going down. And there we go. Even in death it's still served, but, well, not for very long. Alrighty, Zotes are moving in to try to bring some of the... Damn! A nice knockback on that Necropolis Knight. And the Zotes together with the Hermit Knights should be able to destroy those Necropolis Knights with decent ease, especially with Shield of Thorns upon everybody. By the looks of it, however, the entirety of the enemy army has now begun to dissipate, or be banished, crumbling, disintegrating, etc., etc., etc. The peasants have held off, though we should not mob them up like that, lest they get hit by a legionary barrage. And the battle is ours. Alrighty, well done to everybody who fought here. It did look pretty dicey there for a second, as soon as the as soon as the reinforcements arrived and started moving in from both sides of the map, but we were able to just hold them off long enough for our own reinforcements to make it into the fray and destroy the rest of them. There we go. Look at all those glowing lances. Too bad we didn't have these Zotes from the start. But, you know, it took ages to... Well, it's taken ages for the AI to tech towards anything, and that includes the Zotes. Anyway, a heroic victory for us. I don't remember whether that was what the auto-resolve predicted, but it was well earned by our knights. Yes, I left the peasants out. Ooh, alrighty, not too bad at all. We got 116 losses and the enemy had nearly 8k, all high veterancy, though there were a lot of basic troops in the first 3 armies, well, 2 of them anyway. Lots of Sepulchral Stalkers and Necropolis Knights in the first one, and of course the very much super elite settlement garrison, but alas, not good enough. And I believe 15k is the max XP that you can get, because I think this is the... Yeah, we've gotten 15k several times before, and it's always exactly 15k. I've definitely never seen it go over. Anyway, let's see who were the standout fighters this time around. Looks like the Hungry Peasants took 175, or did 175 kills worth of damage. We got 70k damage on the Knights of Nihir, and 235 kills, 340 on the sadly unnamed Grail Knights. There were not enough Grail Knights. Not enough Grail Knight names, alas. Oh well. Let's see, Madman of the Lady cleaned up with 176 kills as well, just edging out the Hungry Peasants for a top infantry spot. Peasant Space Program, fantastic name, got 211 kills, and the Chivalry Delivery did okay as well, but I think that one was the one that had to back off, lest it be destroyed by the enemy. Just a little bit too early. 6,900 damage on the Hermit Knights. It didn't get too much value out of them, but mostly because they were too slow, by virtue of being foot knights, to actually get into combat quick enough, and just had to keep chasing. And then, of course, our Zotes. We got to try them out once, and they did reasonably well at 77k, or 77 kills as well. Alright, and then just to take a quick look at Rapunzel's army, Bretonnia's Flying Circus, 232, 210 on the Bucketheads, and 341 on an unnamed unit of Foot Squires, and 168 on the Chilean People's Front, and another unnamed one. Well, good job to AU2, and let's see. Knights of the Tower, 367, beating out all the unnamed questing knights. It's only appropriate that a named unit beat those. Well done. That was the final battle for the Fey Enchantress and for Occupy. And for Rapunce and Military Alliance with Vifindal, you know what, fine. It's the end of the campaign, none of it matters. I just don't want them asking again. And it looks like these guys will be destroyed, and we have essentially one battle left to fight. So, two things we need to see. First of all, I have to wonder whether Throg is in the Hell Pit, and if he is, I'd love to fight him in the field, and then afterwards fight the errantry battle if possible. Oh no, he ran away, Throg, you coward. Oh. Well, his stack is absolutely trash anyway. Ha. It's not even worth the fight. Okay, well, that's Throg's problem. I believe then, let's see if we can get a good battle outside of the Hell Pit. Should we level these guys up? I swear I just did I not? Maybe not. Alright, Blade Shield for Henri, and wow, he still does not have Deadly Onslaught. Well, at least he will have it for the final fight of the campaign. And I guess Scarred Vet for you, because more mileage, because you're on a Hippogriff. You, Sir Algor, Deadly Blade. And you, Gaston of Couronne, will have... Does it matter all that much? Probably not. We could go egocentric, but I think I prefer... Let's go Devastating Charge. Alrighty, next up, Sophia, you got 1.4. Yeah, let's get you Calming. Why was I doing Calming? Oh, for the miscast chance? Yeah, why not? That makes sense. And you don't need Lady's Mantle, let's face it, Matthias the Follower. You've been following along nicely since the very, very beginning, the first of the paladins of the campaign, and I guess you can have Devastating Charge as well. Lovely. Louen, see what we have to see and Hell Pit. And alright, that guy's running, which means we assault Hell Pit itself. Or wait, or do we? Aha, so what do we have here? Oh, it's just the garrison. That's a little bit disappointing, but I guess since... I guess we could fight it just for fun. We can crush them one time and then we'll do the final battle. Alright, one bonus battle. At least we'll get to destroy Gorich, because we're not going to bother chasing down Throg and his pathetic little Skaven slave stack. Away we go, T-2. Alright, here we go. Bit of a shame we couldn't find Throg the Unclean, but oh well. Not a big deal. We still get to face off against the garrison of the Hell Pit, which is still the most elite that we're likely to encounter from the Skaven, and Gorge is still here, so he can fill in for Throg, though by the looks of it not for long, as a single charge from Louen brings him down to half HP, and every blow hits him for 1,000, which is pretty darn nasty. Now the rest of our units have arrived, and it is our elites, our flyers, and Gorge goes down. Damn, he went down quick, and not in a good way. Well, too bad for him, and the first of the enemy army is destroyed. Our paladins have mobbed an enemy Hell Pit abomination. And that thing goes down as well and disgorges its belly full of Skaven slaves. Alrighty, well, too bad, so sad for Gorich and his little mini-force, but the main portion of the battle is here with all those elite Storm Vermin, a couple of Hell Pit abominations, Rat Ogre, Mutant Rat Ogre, a couple types of Globe units, I see a Doom Wheel as well, and a couple Plague Priests together with that Warlord. And a monk as well. Rather a unit of plague monks. Anyway, I'm just going to speed this up a little bit as we're going to await those reinforcements. And our elites didn't even need the help of our main units of knights. Alright, everybody gonna move into position, and it's probably better for us to allow the enemy to move a little bit closer so that we can chase them off and make sure that we take the Hell Pit itself. Actually, if we don't take a lot of damage here, we might be able to move straight into the final battle. And it might be even more interesting to fight it while we're damaged, in fact. In fact, I like that idea. Might make it a little bit more challenging. But anyway, we're going to send our paladins to go after the enemy Brood Horror as well as the enemy Doom Wheel, while the rest of our units move right through those enemies. I gotta love watching those charges. Charge right on through, loop back around, and then hit them in the back right after to double up on that air. Charge on through again, and then keep on going. Now, it looks like Henri is facing off against the enemy Kelpid Abomination, which is close to half HP. I believe Louen has already brought down another Kelpid Abomination himself. And this is looking very ugly for the peasants. Overall peasants? Well, the peasants as well, but I meant the Skaven. Close enough. Anyway, they're both malnourished and pathetic. Alrighty, well, here come the rest of the knights charging through the ranks of enemy clan rats and storm vermin, but it looks like the enemy army won't be around for too much longer. Over in the background, our Hippogriff Knights and our Royal Pegasus Knights have destroyed the enemy Death Globes, Poison Wind Globes, and Globadiers, rather, and the enemy Plague Claw Catapult. And it looks like a few more hits will see the enemy army off completely. Gonna be a fairly short battle, in fact. Honestly, I think it took longer to await the enemy reinforcements than to destroy the enemy army, but that was, I feel, pretty much as expected, especially since Louen destroyed both Gorich and one of the Kelpid Abominations in seconds. Gotta remember that the garrison does not have the Lord buffs or anything like that, so yeah, they were always gonna be fairly weak. Anyway, with that, the Kelpid army shatters and Clan Molder is pretty much done. Battle's Hours will chase the enemy off screen, but we'll be able to auto-resolve Kelpid after this, and while we're probably not going to go after the destruction of the actual faction, they wouldn't be able to recover from the loss of their main army and the Kelpid as well. Alrighty, fantastic, and not too difficult at all. In fact, we've taken little enough damage that I do believe we should be able to proceed straight to the final battle here. Let's take a quick inventory here of the damage, and Louen's Lions still getting the most kills, and that's with the addition of the Royal Pegasus Knights and the Royal Hippogriffs Knights as well. Damn, what a strong unit. We got 100 kills on the Lances of Couronne, the Good Knights and the Enda's Knights, and the Nighty Knights all breached 100 as well, and so did this... Oh, I never named the Grail Guardians. Well, too late now, but it's okay. Couronne Royal Air Force and the Nightingales, Knights and Gales? I don't know. Both breached 100 as well, so great job to them, and it looks like, let's see, all the paladins did roughly even with each other as well. Alright, execute those captives, and I believe since no more admin is required, we can proceed straight to the final fight. We can, well... You know, there's no need to auto-resolve Help It because it'll prevent us from moving. We did level up again, but I don't think it's, well, the single level is going to make any kind of difference. So, Wars of Errantry, Badlands, the very last battle of the campaign. That's the only thing that's missing. Oh yeah, it's been the only thing missing from Long Victory for a while, and Domination Campaign Victory is just going to take too long. We're still, Oh, that's way too many settlements. Occupy loot to Razor's Sec. It might not even be possible depending on how well our allies were to do. I mean, I guess if we take all of Cathay and all of the Darklands, not that any of that is necessary, and then all of the North, but we pretty much won. In fact, no pretty much about it. We have won. Anyway, let's put that theory into practice by fighting this Wars of Errantry battle. The character is in a stance. What stance are you in? Oh, you're in Crusade stance. Right now the character is not in a stance. Wars of Errantry Badlands. Let's give this a read and then let's do it. My lord, the Outriders have returned from their reconnaissance with reports of a green-skinned force massing ahead of us. They are encamped on a defensible ridge and have brought their bizarre artillery to further fortify their position. They appear ready to fight to the last. Further reports seem to indicate that they are bolstered by a great gathering of war bosses who seem bent on bringing their full strength to bear against you. It is clear they want the same thing we do, a decisive battle to decide our fates once and for all. We must not relent. Their scourge must be wiped from the world. Working on it. Alright, teleport. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't tell us what the reinforcements will be, and Skarsnik is here, which, I wonder if Grimgor and the rest will be here as well. That would be fantastic and great to see. There have been a few comments that the final battle is also pretty darn nasty, so I'm excited to see what else the reinforcements will bring. Away we go.
The Badlands teem with greenskins, my lord. This truly is the belly of the beast. Orcs and goblins move to trap your forces. You must endure the green tide. Fight hard to overcome it and smite this evil. In the lady's blessed name.
Alrighty, the final battle of the campaign, and we'll see how the enemy fares, and how many reinforcements they bring. At the very least, what we're going to try to accomplish here is have Louen knock out every enemy lord that he can find, as I assume there will be more. We'll start with Skarsnik himself, as he's the first on the field, so Louen's going to move on in, while Arry takes the lead and goes after the enemy Ragnarok. Skarsnik gets immediately knocked back by Louen and has already dropped to half HP. This is not going to go well for him, while we move the elites in to help him out. So the Paladins and the Hippogriff Knights and Royal Pegasus Knights as well. We don't even really need the rest of our forces, which are just going to hang out back there for now, as this force is small enough for Louen and Co. to take care. And down goes Skarsnik in the background. Too little too late to see him fall, but he was so weak here and only level 10 that he had absolutely no chance. Louen's first charge basically brought him down to half HP, so anyway, looks like the army of Skarsnik is following in his footsteps, so we're going to send in the rest of our knights, but mostly to just chase his units down, so that they don't rally. And then, what the heck are you doing up there? So that they don't rally and annoy us once more. On the bright side, though, that was only the beginning, as it looks like Azag the Slaughterer has moved onto the field, and Louen has himself another fight. We do still have to take care of a unit of Night Gobos here, though, which appear to be unbreakable, though frankly they're too tiny and it's impossible to spot them under all of those knightly units. Alright, well then, it's Louen's show, as it always was, so he'll move down to fight off Azag, rather than allowing him to kill off our allied battle programs. Alright, 1v1 number 2, as Louen has, well, he's done about a quarter of the damage to Azag so far. Azag has the help of those little forest goblin spider riders, which are slightly interfering with Louen, but it looks like Azag wants no part of this, and is gonna back off until more orc boys move in to help him out. Not sure that's going to be enough, however, as Louen will continue going after him, bring him down to about a quarter of his HP. And even as he tries to run, Beaky keeps taking chunks of flesh from his wyvern's back. One more hit will bring Azag down, and he continues to run, but I'm pretty sure he cannot outrun Louen, who moves damn quick. And come on. You gotta get one more hit in there. I just called you quick, Beaky. You better not screw me on this, and come on now. There we go. For a second I thought he was gonna escape, but alas for him, no. Louen moves at 198 speed, so yeah, it didn't seem likely. Well done to Louen. That's 2 legendary lord kills in a single fight, though of course the rest of his knights continue fighting as well. Specifically, the flyers have moved into the fray, hitting some of the enemy reinforcements. and preventing them from moving in to attacking the battle pilgrims. Oh, well, the boar boys look like they do enough damage or have enough mass to actually stagger one of the hippogriff knights here with their attacks. Kinda neat for them, but they should be losing considerably more models than us, which should probably be 0, as there are only 6 units on the field there. Oh, and it looks like the enemy units that were fighting our flyers are pretty much done, and our non-flying cav are gonna move in to help the battle pilgrims. In the meantime, however, Louen has sighted another target as Grimgor has arrived on the field. 83 melee attack and 39 melee defense. Does he have Skarsnik and the Blood-Forged armor, though? Huh, it looks like he actually spawns without them. I don't see the Skarsnik ability. Or the Blood-Forged armor ability. Well, that's unfortunate for him, because then, well, even with them, he wouldn't have a chance, but now he has even less of a chance. Anyway, Lewin's gonna go after him while we try to distract the rest of the Black Orc elite that have arrived with Grimgor by sending all of our paladins led by Arry le Massif in to fight them. And of course, we've pretty much never seen the paladin blob really ever get hurt, so I doubt that they're going to have too much trouble with this. Louen has already taken Grimgor down to about half HP as well, and those guys can just keep the enemy elites distracted. Alright, and a couple more hits, and it looks like a Grimgor won't be up for too much more fighting or crumping. Oh, I really wish they got rid of this effect, or at least gave us a way to completely disable it. This takes me out of the immersion. Not that big of a deal, though, and it looks like a couple more hits will bring Grimgor down. He is shaken, wavering, and it looks like he's not unbreakable, so a couple more hits will bring him down, though it looks like his wounds will be to the back, or to the side, as he tries to run, but goes down as soon as he turns, or starts to turn. Arry and the paladins continue to hold off the enemy boar boys and black orcs, including the immortals here, without too much trouble by the looks of it. They're all pretty much still at full HP. Over on this side, our own elite flyers, our Royal Pegasus Knights, as well as our Royal Hippogriff Knights, have found some more Black Orcs and enemy Boar Boys, including the Broken Tusks mob. But it looks like they'll all be dead fairly quickly. And just as our non-flying cavalry move in, they're playing catch-up in this particular battle, but I think it's okay, as it's easier to get nice shots of our elite units fighting, as there are much fewer of them than just watching the blob of knights just crush everything in their path. Not that I haven't been enjoying that greatly throughout the campaign either, or as well. Alrighty, and here they come, glowing lances and swords held high to join Louen in the fray, as well as the paladins who have held off this mob of enemy Black Orcs this entire time. We also have the last of the enemy lords moving onto the field, as Wurzag has arrived. Oh wait, is it the last? I wonder if Grom the Paunch is coming as well. I guess we'll have to see. No, wait. There is a limit to 4 armies in this game that can be on the field at once from a side, which might mean there is no Grom the Paunch. Though at the same time, I suppose for a quest battle, they could probably program it to bypass it, though I don't know if they'd bother to do so. Anyway, it looks like the Immortals are in pretty bad shape here on their tier 5 unit. Oh, the Crimson Killers, rather. They're in pretty bad shape here. It's nice to see that they're a tier 5 unit. I'm looking at their stats. 80 melee attack is pretty darn nasty, but not nasty enough to deal with the lances of Couronne, who are absolutely ripping them apart. And besides, they're a tier 5 unit as well. There we go. Poke away with those lances, and those Black Orcs won't be on the field for too much longer. That said, more reinforcements have arrived with Wurzag, a giant, who has to be killed by Arry le Massif and one of the Paladin boys, while Louen, once again, goes after the enemy legendary lord. And it looks like Wurzag wants absolutely no part of this, being brought down with a couple of hits to about a quarter of his HP. and not knowing what the heck to do. Louen charges through with Beaky, that mass taking him through the entire enemy force, and this must be absolutely terrifying. You just can't run from him. And come on. And there he goes. Alrighty. And with Wurzag having fallen, his army will break as well, and the final battle will finally end. A close victory apparently, but I frankly sincerely doubt that we took all that much damage. Though perhaps our allies, the Battle Pilgrims, and I think some Knights Errant as well, might have taken some. It hardly matters to us. Very, very nice. I'm so happy that all of those legendary lords were on the field. Once a little bit disappointed that we couldn't see Grom the Paunch as well, but I guess it's not like he would have stood a chance against Louen either way, any more than the rest of them did. Alrighty, and there you have it, folks. One by one did the great champions of Gork, or possibly Mork, rise to meet Louen in single combat, and one by one did the ladies' champions strike each of their foul heads from their shoulders. A lovely little end of the campaign battle to meet 4 legendary lords at once in a single battle. Too bad we can't choose to fight both the Chaos and the Greenskin one, but I suppose the next time around that I end up playing Bretonnia, which will maybe be in the Old World mod, I'll make sure to try and pick the Chaos battle just to see what that one is like as well. Since that was the last battle, I guess we can see, well, you know what, everybody did well, so let's just see the names. The Lances of Couronne, the, well, unnamed Grail Knights, Louen's Lions, Good Knights, Enda's Knights, Nighty Knights, Knights of the Algorithm, Nightingales, Couronne Royal Air Force, Louen's Winged Fist, Sons of Beaky, and the 2 unnamed Grail Guardians, plus all the named Paladins, were what our final names for the final army was. Execute captives and ultimate campaign victory. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, look at all those buffs. And long victory achieved. There we go. Oh, it didn't do the long victory screen, but I guess it doesn't really matter, as we don't need to see it. We already know we've won. That's it. That's all, folks. Thanks so much for sticking with this campaign all the way to the end. We got some fantastic battles along the way, and frankly, this has been one of my favorite campaigns in terms of the unit names. You guys came up with some absolutely amazing ones this time around, and I'm probably going to keep a few of them on my list for the next time I play Bretonnia. Anyway, all good things have to come to an end, and there will always be more Total Warhammer on this channel, so don't forget to vote for the next campaign in the community tab, as the vote for the Vampire Coast Old World and, well, Old World Lord is currently up and running, or at least it should be, because this episode took 8 million years to make. Anyway, that's it. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.